way to be.
Yeah, very volatile game like this. Sometimes it's all about, you know, the butterfly effect. But we're starting off, guys. We've got Nan coming in on her sin. She's been playing despite those changes. Up against RAMAN, gonna be pulling out that Testament. Got some love on the patch. This character. We'll see how it pans off.
Yeah, we're already canceling out early on, trying to guess on that, but the 6P coming from Nana at the beginning of things. Look a little too high on the combo there. We're trying to drop a setup, but the hit, the confirmed RAMAN is going to get things started for Testament.
Showing off some of those teleport routes. Nana, she has a lot of stamina to play with if she can get one of those straight hits. Tried to fish for it right there with that beat driver, but RAMAN doing some good anti-zoning with that 6P, with that follow-up. We got some damage applied.
Okay, yeah, not too far away from the Flagstaff. You gotta go make that knockdown on there. Guts does kick in, has to go through one interaction on both sides. Just goes in for the overdrive, and you know what? Clean jump through, get that throw, just punish. That's all that Nana needs.
And then ready to show off that she was ready with that tension there at the end too, if we needed it. We were able to get that round. We were able to capitalize on some of that stamina, but good burst there from RAMAN. Doesn't want to give away that positive bonus as well. Good confirm from Nan with that orange wild assault. Of course, you can't cancel on block, but you can use it for those situations just like that.
Yeah, the fast BRC jump K in there. We're going to go ahead, get that clean Tyrant barrel onto the other side here. Nana, she's really controlling this round and actually just took it all the way. That's a perfect, yes it is.
I mean, there's some oppressive play right there from Nan saying, hey, there may have been some changes for my character, but nothing changed about this game plan. If I'm walking up and I'm pressing close slash and it's hitting, well, I'm going to start feeling good about it. So good stuff right there from Nan. Getting that first game. Saw some good zoning right there from the Testament. Saw some interesting approaches that RAMAN can be able to mix up Nan with potentially in some of these latter rounds. I'm feeling pretty good about this one either way.
Yeah, definitely looks like maybe at the end there with the trying to let's be a little bit unexpected. Let me throw out the overdrive, see where it's going. There's nothing to lose here. You know, first to 3 in this open ladder bracket for every match here. But we're already nearly half the life bar gone on RAMAN's side here. Nana immediately going to the burst here, holding down. But we already seen that zoning you were talking about, Jesus, just holding back. Make sure that the Sid cannot approach.
I mean, if you get a couple of those Arbiter beasts, the highs or the lows, you can chunk away that HP bar quite a bit, a surprising amount. But RAMAN's going to use that overdrive to get Nana carried to this corner. These 2H going to clash as well, and Nana was ready with the cancel.
RTL going to get all the way. Use the lower highway just to get across into the other. Gets in with the overhand follow-up, and there we go. Going to cancel out. Oh, a little bit of trickery. Not enough to kill, of course, on that. We're look like a little bit of a drop there, but we're just going to go right back into that fast BRC. The jumping K coming in for a low approach, but succeed.
And then I was trying to have her take and eat it too. I saw that. Try to get the bait and the combo to kill. Was still able to get that round, but RAMAN with a really good start in this one. That low Arbiter does get blocked, but this game lets us keep the pressure going unless, of course, Nana gets that hit, uses that stamina. Couldn't get the RTL, though.
Yeah, was already like in the knockdown state at that point there. Could not get the approach on there, but does get the 2D into the DP on there afterwards here. We're trying to check out with that close slash again. Trying to check out with the button here. Came to the mid-range as any approach, and you're throwing out with the Raven coming out the play on there. Nana, she gets the hit, going to get the conversion, get onto the other side, get that positive bonus.
Attention here for this Testament. He needs a second to spend it, but that counter hit beat driver is going to have to get answered by the burst. RAMAN using these succubi in the block string, and I like that. And hey, look, it pays off right away, Risky. So we get a straight hit, and all of a sudden this round is winnable.
Not anymore, unfortunately. There, I think it looked like Nana thought she could maybe approach in against RAMAN at the end there, like to hit it, but got hit by the succubi instead. Was able to pick it up afterwards. It's 2-0 at the moment, but yeah, like RAMAN is starting to figure out some things here.
Yeah, definitely a slower game. At the very least, Nana possibly was trying to play a little different, maybe a little bit more relaxed, and you can't against RAMAN the way that they're zoning with that Testament, the way that they're going to check you with those high-lows, keep you back. I love that answer from RAMAN to do the 6H succubi cancel just to keep the block string going. So we definitely have some unique answers to these situations. Nana's got the lead. See if things get slowed down.
Okay, get the early hit into immediate burst, and they're just wanting to get back in neutral as quick as possible. Bit of a trade in the air, but already jumping above the Arbiter Blast. Trying to get the tried and true into the Wild Assault here. Trying to get to the wall, but not quite. Get the Nana with the instant air dash in there. Knockdown into Tyrant Barrel. This is turning around pretty quickly.
RAMAN has that tension, but Nanan's going to be building hers up with that throw, with that positive bonus cranking from that wall break. RAMAN holding on to that burst, but that may cost us the round. Now, of course, being wise with that burst save, saying, hey, I'm probably going to go down. I want to keep it for this last situation because Nanan is on set point. She is trying to get out of here on that 3-0.
Yeah, she also went through the RTL version of that just to get the extra damage on there, knowing the wall was probably not going to break on there. Just wanted to be careful. Make sure, nice and easy beginning on here, but RAMAN fighting back, getting the zoning already back, making Nanan hold the down back, hold him on the get on. Trying to go in for the 2K into tip throw. No can do. Going to get the follow-up from Nanan into the corner, trading on the close slash. You do get the other side, but nothing for it.
Definitely very scrambly here. RAMAN definitely paying off as well. Even when we're on that testament, we're still scrambling and scrappy with those P-normals, with these RCs. So we're dancing around each other. But even on the zone or even on that mid-range set play character, we're still quick, we're still fast. It's paying off. We're taking Nanan over here to the other side of the screen.
Yeah, that's going to bit it, but not enough guts. Gonna have to try to find that final hit, and here this could be big.
One more for either player.
Oh, actually does the follow-up after the DP. The second one hits, forcing the burst away from RAMAN. Not going to have that for the next round, but does have a round on the board now.
And then with some useful stamina cancels, still threatening that testament even down to that last pixel. So I love being able to stay here, stay fighting out in this match. But RAMAN calling out that approach right there with that 2K2D. We're in the middle of the screen. We're getting these projectiles out. Nanan just being very patient, right? Being very grounded, able to dance around a lot of these approaches and coming out these interesting angles.
Yeah, actually was able to clip with the early part of before the projectile came out. A lot of cancels out into just standing in the teleport there, just trying to force a button from Nanan out here. Does get the tap dust in here, but once again, coming down like a soaring eagle, the BRZ fast jump kick, gets its mark, gets into a conversion, gets onto the other side after breaking the wall.
Oh, we're getting tricky with those cancels as well. Teleporting around the screen, Nanan still able to get a stray hit and turn it into a meter dump. Gonna route this RTL to try to get the knockoff, but a well-timed tech. RAMAN's getting off that wall.
Actually, pretty good opportunity there with the 2D to get the knockdown, take over, but DP forcing the burst out. Back in the corner you go, threw out the Sunky Play. I need a little help here.
Nanan did a good job just holding up, getting out of that situation. RAMAN was afforded the second chance. Nanan got it back as well. The 5D off of the 2K2D is going to clean it up. Nanan going to be moving
right
on.
Now with Geko and Senor Bean coming on the screen with the Dizzy versus Goldlewis.
I don't mean to self-plug, but I got to shout Senor Bean for showing up to the local last week. That's my goat out here on the Goldlewis. But Geko, of course, one of the goats out here on Dizzy. I see a lot of tech being posted from that Twitter channel. And it's paying off. Look, we're getting this wall break. We already built up some meter. We got this hard knockdown the other side. Senor Bean trying to start pressing back, fighting back out of this round.
Yeah, Disney's got a few things, especially in the most recent patch with Beyond. Being able to use she has more active frames than the use this to catch fish. Being able to really kind of lock down and also keep the distance up. Probably get away and probably zone out Goldlewis a little bit more than she used to.
I definitely got some love on her S normal, so. The activity of that pillar can give any character a hard time, especially Goldlewis. Of course, can't be all boo-hoo for that big man over there. He still has those BGs to fight back with, but Geko is looping those wings, looping these fire spears, and it's paying off. We're doing so much damage out here, taking this first game. Geko being very powerful with that zoning.
Yeah, caught Senor Bean trying to mash out with the 2P at the end there, like to get thrusted onto the other side. Just kind of finished that out there. And like Kopi said in the chat, yeah, definitely, Geko, I see that profile name on here, the Mihono Bourbon. I know what you've been playing, like in between brackets on your phone. I've been playing it too.
I gotta say, Risky Note's cool is seeing everybody's favorites, and you still get surprised by a few. There's a couple popular ones, but the Mihono Bourbon, I did not expect that one. I respect it, though. Geko pressing you back. Risky, who's your favorite? Go ahead and tell me.
Maruzinski. Easy on there.
Oh,
like,
quick
gotta go
one,
back.
too.
Okay, we get the knockdown, so show up, get the choppers out to Bay one more time with the low, hold it down before getting the knockdown. Geko already over halfway of that life bar, but the Behemoth Typhoon gets Senor Bean out of the corner.
There were some changes there to that aerial Behemoth size fluid in terms of the reward you get, but hey man, it's still the button, it still tries to get those hits, but that JV didn't get too much level in that last patch. Still a powerful tool, still trying to represent it. Geko, however, getting that full screen secures this first round of game 2.
It's actually pretty amazing that Geko got the 6H on there after on the follow-up, was able to pick up on there, not for like a huge combo, but was still able to maintain control in that. Get the round on there, already throwing it back in there, throwing some roasting, some chestnuts in the middle of the screen, try to activate the ray of the Wings of Life, and it's going to pay for it dearly with this combo from Senor Bean.
Good stuff there, Senor Bean capitalizing on that hit, gets a punish, is rewarded with the knockdown, and that was all you needed. The threat was enough. Able to even up the rounds here. Geko gonna have to answer back with a nice 2H there on the round start. Looking strong for this Dizzy here in this last round.
The immediate 2H from Geko. Get the knockdown, already has access to the Wing Light. Build up a fair amount of meter, already at that last little bit of spark. Get the follow-up, but Gut does kick in one more touch. The chip damage gets another perfect for Geko.
That was a long perfect there too. I'm gonna keep it a buck. At least here in Guilty Gear Strive. You know, 16 seconds. That's a long time out here, Risky, out here in Guilty Gear. But no, for real though. Strong stuff there from Geko. Able to answer back. Now, Senor Bean was able to get that round. You know, we get on top of you. All we got to do is just start representing those meaty close slashes. That can be enough for the side of the Senor Bean. But you need the knockdown. You need the chance to pull up after. And you need to get past this zoning.
Yeah, being able to really get past the ice column, which you pointed out, G, like has a little bit extra range on there. Really hard to get around that, especially with like some a character that is relatively slower than most of the other casts on here. Having to hold it out, get the guard pressure on the 6-8, but Senor Bean does use the wild assault to get the knockdown to begin things. Geko turns it around though.
That activity of the ice spear kept Senor Bean locked in. Geko showing you a few of those projectiles, gets rewarded with the throw, and I don't blame you for pressing. You see the wings proccing in your face. Of course, you're going to want to try to fight back and get out of it. And you're being here on a pixel.
A pixel, but not a green potentially here. The portion of the burst out here, already blocking the white wild assault, but cancels it out, goes in back with the fast RC hit in there just to get that last little bit of damage. Geko is on that point.
Running down the screen, very preemptive anti-air there. That 2H, call that a Grand Blue anti-air. Geko getting rewarded, taking you down the screen. Senor Bean getting restood over and over out here, Risky.
Yeah, has access to the Wings of Light, already gone away. Oh, you know what? It was activated. Geko got the grab on there afterwards. All the health was drained at that point, like draining the life force from your body. Geko 3-0.
Man, this Dizzy character, she's very pretty, very sweet, but can be a little violent. Guys, when it happens, make sure you come back and grab Risky's audio saying that. You gotta remember, it was Paragon 48. Let the masses know. Anyways, guys, we're up against Madchu, playing against DainsLeif, Millia, and May, two characters that we got to see change a little bit as well. Especially this Millia character, maybe some S-fists in the near future. We'll see out here, Risky.
Yeah, it's interesting, like seeing, I haven't seen as much from the Millia players in terms of this current patch. What I do know is May is one who actually benefits more from like a lot of the universal changes than like, she does have a better access to her far slash. I feel like every patch with May has been like, we're going to improve far slash just a little bit more. You want to use this button. And it's pretty good. You can combo with a lot of things. The stagger ability that you have from close slash now, where like having that ability on top of that, nice overhead kiss on there, going to increase it, but gets thrown out of the way with the burst on there. But being able to use those abilities of that just to kind of get the follow-ups on there has been very good for May.
Madchu trying to show you how good this May is. Only needs one more hit to close out the round, but DainsLeif with that fast RC off that Iron Savior hit is going to get some nicks here in the middle of the screen. The cross-up hits, Risky. It only needs one more hit to take it out. Madchu, will we burst?
Not, the grab will do it. Tag, you're it.
Strong stuff there. DainsLeif said, hey, I don't want to guess if you're going to burst. I'm gonna hold down back, and I'm going to throw you on that wake up, not even give you a chance to press it. Madchu showing you that far slash, trying to fish for that hit, but DainsLeif also poking back with some of these Estus. Needs one good approach, and these daggers come out. Madchu trying to get out of that corner.
Okay, trying to approach with the fast horizontal dominant. On the other side, though, we get the tandem top set up in there, get the turbo fall out of there into the wall. Yeah, we're gonna get that full combo. Artemis to finish things off. Positive bonus for DainsLeif.
Fishing with those far slashes. Both of our characters flying around in the air. We got some interesting movement from these ones out here. DainsLeif showing you this Artemis, a very flashy finish. The run-up winger surely secures it. Madchu going to be going down that game, but we were seeing some strong hits, some strong pickups there in that first round. DainsLeif able to show us that mix as well, though. You fall down, you get hit with one of those 2Ds. DainsLeif ain't going to make it easy for you to get back up.
No, definitely was playing a lot of the trickery that Millia players are known for. When like as soon as you get a knockdown, being able to throw out heavy tandem top, make you kind of guess on which side. Like get the quick switches and really keep you guessing on there. That can just infuriating opponent, and DainsLeif is doing that to a very good degree.
He's getting an early burst here from this May. Hey, if you're gonna burst early, burst often. And I'm gonna build it back up anyways. Ain't not risky. We're playing against the Millia here, death by 1,000 cuts. So we'll see. Madchu being pretty aggressive here.
Actually got a hit with the jumping P on there afterwards, but I like the call down, trying to chase down DainsLeif with the jumping dust down there. Unfortunately, all for naught here. We're going to get into the follow-up in here to a mix-up situation. Gets onto the other side, stays same side. We are Acrobat Cirque du Soleil style from DainsLeif.
And Madchu's still blocking it out, though. I see you out here on that main, trying to mix it up with that PRC. The far slash actually gets that poke and hit. DainsLeif still has this burst. We'll see if we even need to use it, because Madchu is fishing with those 5 H's.
Yeah, got the 2H on 2 slash rather from Madchu in there. Holding down, we're blocking on there, but the bad moon is rising. John Fogerty style. That's going to be all DainsLeif needs to get that round.
Now Madchu did get the burst back, so that early burst pays off. At the very least, we have it now. It's available to us. It's going to be offensive. It's going to be an on-hit frame trap there from Wild Assault that turned into a wall break. So Madchu doing some good stuff with those resources.
Yeah, gets the guarantee confirm the horizontal dolphin into RC, into the overhead kiss. Does Gale trying to maybe get rid of the burst? No dice, not even going to get the full meter. Guts kicks in at the last possible moment.
Fortunate stuff right there. Madchu still trying to stay in it, though. We have all the resources to spend. Doesn't want to spend that burst. DainsLeif at this point is at least saying that, like, please at least spend that burst, but no, Madchu very patient with it, waits for the time to get that reversal super, evening up the rounds, evened up in resources. This is an awesome game to watch here, this game too.
Actually got onto the other side, but the burst makes it just so they're not trapped in the corner. Back into neutral with the jump off of the split from the Dolphin, holding it down. And I like that, kind of keep him till back a little bit, but the far slash misses, giving DainsLeif an opportunity to turn things around.
Keeping ourselves safe. I like that check with the 5P there, saying, hey, if you want to give Frisky pressing that S-Dolphin, I'm already looking for it. Setting up that A6 as well, just begging Madchu to walk in this one, but no, we're patient. We're waiting for a good time to get in, but DainsLeif's not going to make it easy. Check-ins with those 2Ps, getting this hit with this mix, and it's going to be that strike throw pressure to try to seal out this round.
Go ahead and get followed. That's, yeah, they're guaranteed. You have the meter. You might as well make sure to finish it off and get number 2 on their side for DainsLeif.
But that was a much different story, right, Risky? Like, we're going down to the last round. At that life pool, you are at kill percent against a May, especially if you're fishing with that 5H. So definitely a much closer game 2. I wouldn't get too comfortable after that one. But, man, when you're playing there, you're on the stream, you're trying to show it off, whether you're in the winner spot or the loser spot. Man, I take it seriously when I'm up there. I'll speak for myself, Risky. I don't know about you.
Oh, it's nerve-wracking to me for sure, especially on any match that's on screen here. But we're going right back into it. Immediate use of the burst. Doesn't want to get anything started for DainsLeif.
Quick string right there. DainsLeif using those tools, even the fast ones, to the biggest ability we can to keep this May back.
Ooh, it actually was on the same side. Turbo fall onto the other to continue the combo. Tandem top, we're going to continue for days on end.
We saw that Estes change here just a second ago. Was able to get that close slash link after and then turn it into mix. But Madchu with some good defense. Good confirm right there to keep this Millia in the corner. DainsLeif still pressing back, still fighting with those staggered 5Ks, and it's paying off. We're running Madchu down, and that red RC is going to confirm it up for us here on set point. Looking pretty hot on this Millia.
Yeah, the Madchu got the jumping P counter hit on there and could have converted into probably, if optimal on there, to a really good side switch combo. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too high. Didn't get the full conversion, and that really changed the pace of the round here. Not this time, though. We got that standing heavy slash into the confirm RC. We're getting the wall. We're getting the positive bonus on top of everything else.
Madchu did just get that burst back, though. DainsLeif gets a counter at 2H, gonna go straight into that combo. Said, hey, if you're gonna choose the burst, you get the chance to spend it. But that 60 red RC is gonna take us down the screen. There's that Estes change again. Madchu with some good defense though.
Yeah, the mid-throw into Lust Shaker, trying to bait out a button here, but we do get the follow-up one using 6H on there, trying to keep on the approach. DainsLeif takes it over here, trying to get to the wall, make sure it breaks with tandem top. Winger to finish off the job potentially, but Guts to kick in. There it goes, Nickelodeon Guts.
That's Winger plus May. You know it doesn't kill. That's some will it kill algorithm right there for you. DainsLeif gonna just keep it simple with that 6P and our combo consistency up against CrimpyTie on that. Maybe see some differences out here to how that MLA performs. That was definitely one of the bigger changes to this patch.
Yeah, she's like, I've seen those stocks go up a little bit more for in there, especially still has access to a lot of the mid game, but now like you have like standing H heavy slash where it kind of like moves a little bit forward, so you have extra movement positions that can happen alongside of that. Got a couple moves that are like a little bit slower on there, but it's going to be interesting to see what there. But here comes the Dark Angel from Chuck Bengis in here. Going to have to hold down against the big ball, get all the way in. Does finally hit on the lows on there afterwards, so the big ball comes in. Darkness does descend on CrimpyTie for the first round.
I got to give Chuck the credit. We've definitely been doing some awesome stuff with this zoning with these Venom normals, but I got to talk about the matchup risky. This looks miserable for Eno using that hover dash, trying to dash block in to close that distance, especially with how well Chuck has been executing this zoning pattern, picking up these combos afterwards. This is looking like a hard one. Strong stuff here for Chuck Bengis.
Yeah, 8-ball corner pocket into the dive pull down to striking on there. Chuck Bengis with a dominating round to tie out the first game on their up the first game on their side 1-0 so far.
I was giving credit to Dizzy earlier for being one of those characters where you're going to see people that have put that work in, ready to show you what it means. I mean, Venom's the same story. Definitely a very complicated character if you were playing him last patch in terms of trying to navigate, that competitive environment. But, I mean, could be some big changes to the Venom player pool. How much we're seeing of them coming out and performing and showing off how much work they put into this set play zoner that Guilty Gear Strive loves to bring to us.
Yeah, and you pointed out to it a little bit earlier, Geek, like being having the horizontal, like the diagonal dash, air dash upwards, where it just kind of goes into a way of especially a lot of the the balls that school balls that Venom is throwing out here. And we already see him trying to get that approach, trying to do a little bit of low profiling with the stroke of big tree, but does get hit with a low pool ball, and we're still back in where we started.
Yeah, it looks like Chuck is catching on. Crimpy doing some dash block before we get to a more closer distance to go for our stroke. Chuck calling you out with the 6H there, but Crimpy was able to build that tension, got a reversal super, and got a knockdown situation for their trouble, trying to send Chuck through, but I like that, mashing out of that setup.
Ooh, and we got the command grab. We're going to play a little bit of pool with our baseball with our pool into the overdrive. Nice confirm to finish out things to get the round.
Yeah, Chuck Bengis out here hitting the dude perfect quick shots. Trying to get a clip out here for the YouTubes. Chuck Bengis still got to play it calm though, and still got to be able to get the defense through this Eno. Crimpy doing some good stuff with these knockdowns. It's paying off for him.
Go ahead, so the big tree on there. We're back in the corner, and the burst actually timed it just so that they were trapped in the corner, having to force with the YRC just to get out of the situation, and another confirm in there. We got a round on the board for CrimpyTie.
CrimpyTie doing some good stuff when we get those knockdowns, but bengis not going to make it easy to get in that situation, especially if you got some defensive resources. But right now, Chuck, no tension, no burst. Going to have to block it out the old-fashioned way, or, of course, look for a moment to press out. The 5K pays off. Couldn't get the punish. The Stinger came out, and the second hit of the super connects. Crimpy keeps Chuck over here in the corner and trying to get a game for themselves.
Get that slash at the end, and of course they are going to get that game. A little bit of a pause in there at the in the lobby screen in there. I thought maybe CrimpyTie was maybe going to switch to another character with how long the little delay was, but they just hopped back in. They figured out, they reticulated some spines and got that that tie up. This is a good start for them.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen Chuck on the Anji before. So we may see some Anji, but no, we're going to go to that Venom. Apologize if I'm wrong, by the way. We're going to stay on that Venom still. Crimpy able to get that game, showing you, hey, if I get those knockdowns, I'm still Eno. I don't care how much you got buffed, if at all. I'm still Eno. If I get a hard knockdown, you're going to have a hard time.
I got my Dissimo, I got my knockdown, I got my mix-up, and my guitar. Let's go.
There you go. Crimpy said that's all I need right now. Looking pretty good here in the corner.
Burst out there, does hit with the tail end of the 2-1-4, canceled out the BRC trying to get approach, but we're already getting dive-pulled by the Venom.
Cool route right there for Chuck bengis. You may see some more of that S carcass. That's definitely one of the big changes happening for this Venom, but good 2H there from Crimpy. Very active normal, very forward-facing normal. It's going to take Chuck over here to the corner.
Like called out the 2H from Chuck to get away, but not enough for the follow up in there. It's a throw for Chuck because to the confirm. Going to get that round for them, but we're already back into it, holding down this Eno mix up.
Like the use of the flex shield. Chuck just needs that distance, and then we can go into this Stinger Tsukiyomi. Crimpy trying to get a straight hit there on that Chemical Love, but Chuck with a good anti-airs despite the flex shield. We're still on top of you.
A lot of low profile, but we do get that hit into the follow-up. We're going to go all the way into, we've got to confirm into like an Oki ball setup, and it's going to get the hit, and Chuck bengis up 2-1.
For Venom games, those were pretty quick right there, Risky. I'm going to keep it a buck. Chuck is very strong right there. You didn't see as many of those knockdowns. In fact, Chuck was kind of prioritizing the distance you saw without the flex shield. Pretty good defensive mechanic for that exact purpose, especially with how strong those stingers have been. And again, that's characters right there. That's a pretty hard projectile to get over for Eno, but I'd say CrimpyTie has been doing a decent job so far in this set. Loving what we're seeing. We've seen some more of those knockdowns.
Yeah, especially you get rewarded. I believe some of those, some of the balls, like the Carcass Raid versions, I think they get some extra damage on top of that. I need to double check on the, on the patch notes for sure. So like you have more reward for going for those options other than just OP is annoying your opponent.
Chuck catching you on that low. Crimpy wants to keep that corner pressure, saying, I don't want to go full screen with this burst. And that's going to be a pretty good burst if you think about it then, huh? You're still on top of this Venom for the most part, but Chuck was the one who got the next interaction. Going to get this set play set up. Calls out the backdash with that 2K2D. We're taking it to the corner. Chuck was able to build that tension, turn into a hard knockdown, and then we got this set up on the other side. Crimpy needs to spend his tension to get out of this round.
Oh, and they guarantee goes right into the confirm into overdrive here, trying to take back things on it, but gets caught on the backdash from the ball into the round of the non-return. I always forget the name of this, like non-return or roundabout or something like that. It's the other ball that hurts a lot.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's what I would call it. I don't know the government name, but that's the one that kills me.
Yeah, the big ball.
Yeah, there you go. Crimpy not able to survive that one, Risky. We're fighting back though.
Yeah, like nice little low profile from the Circle Big Tree from CrimpyTie in there, but now you're just holding it back. You're playing the zone game and trying to find that distance in there. Not quite, but does get the goal burst.
Chasing you down the screen. I like that a lot of characters in the cast got interesting answers. Crimpy kept it simple with that sultry performance after super jumping away. Chuck trying to build some more of this tension. Every one of those hits from Stinger builds that tension and takes away that HP. Chuck able to zone you out. Moving on.
Next on the Paragon open ladder, we got a Faust, like you were talking about earlier, versus Zag with the Unika.
Yeah, this ain't just any Faust. Pip Gaming, very strong one out there. If you're playing Faust at this upper echelon, people know you by first and last name, it seems like. There's only a couple of y'all, and y'all are also cracked. Zag, however, showing you some strength right here, comboing off of that trumpet. Gets a drop from to send Pip through the wall. Zag still has that burst to fight back with. If we need to in this round, we'll see if Pip gives us a gap to spend it.
It's a nice little haircut. He's like, no, I need to redo that. It's not good enough yet. Goes ahead, gets the damage on top, and tries to go for a third on there, but still having to deal with the air blocking for on Zag's side. And you know what? I wasn't happy with that one. Let's just do it one more time. You can hit me later.
Yeah. I got you, fam. Let me fix it up for you real quick. Trying to get another one out there. Using that Scarecrow PRC, a very unique option against some of these zoner special moves. It's a fourth haircut, but we can't get that fifth risky. Looks like Zag's going to close out that round.
No, it's like you've already messed up my hair enough here. I don't need the perm anymore. Thank you. Unika was ready for that.
Good item use right here. That's 3 of those weights in a row. Pip definitely showing you how crazy that would be if you can call out that one on command. This bomb is ready for the bombo after, unfortunately, we keep it going, but we keep the corner.
A little bit of fishing in there, perfect hit. We're going to definitely break the wall and be a very good position to go one through there with the mix.
What could this be? Something to kill. Pip pulled an item out of the hat that closed that one out. That 6H. Still able to jail Zag back, keep him in this corner. Trying to do that double jump up, just a very simple movement option, but Pip zoning you back and fighting with these Faust normals regardless.
Okay, Zag does get the little bit of cross up, able to turn things around. The enhanced version of the follow-up is going to be big damage into her version of Stun Dipper. We're seeing at least a Stun Dipper on the screen. Into the Mega Death Buster, going to get that positive bonus on top of everything. Into the tick throw. Gaming still has access to the burst and already blocks the gold burst early on. In fact, I mean, Gaming still gets out of it with the haircut.
Whoa, that was some weird layer 3 play, considering we are in the first game, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be that DP and the scramble to close it out there from Zag. Awesome answer right there. The RC, the call. Were we calling out specifically gold burst right there, blue burst in that string? Smart stuff there from Zag, and it pays off.
Yeah, it looked like just early on had the access to that burst, so eventually you know it was going to come out on that one of those last hits, and there was just a matter of when, and they called it out correctly to get one on the board for Zag.
Now Pip doing some interesting stuff with those items, especially in the order they were coming out. Pip able to be powerful there on that Faust. Ready to call out Zag for getting comfortable for a single moment. Changing that color as well, saying, hey, maybe the palette buff will help me out here. Zag spends that first.
Gotta make sure you are dressed for the occasion on there. Looks like it's working out so far. Got already the burst on there with the 6H follow-up. And we're kind of holding down. Already getting above the horizontal laser from Unika. But like having to be trapped. A lot of meteors happening into the mix yet again.
Strong stuff there. Pip not just using the items well, but routing so that we can call out more of them, right? Like, you know, and going for the resets off of like the triple item toss super, just trying to see what we get. And they've been paying off for the most part, but Zag is gonna take you down the screen, use that daughter dipper to bring this Faust to the corner, but Pip still fighting back, getting that OTG 6H, closing out the round, said, hey, look, here's a little mini Faust for your trouble.
Yeah, like, thank you. This is the refund on top of that. I did like some of the movement Zag was trying to do in there, was to try to get away from a lot of the mix and everything in between. Using that daughter dipper, and going in, trying to get further away from some of the things on there. Unfortunately, did get hit, lost the round at that, and we're back in the corner yet again, having to deal with double Afro now.
Yeah, the Afro's coming out like crazy. Definitely not the most impressive item in terms of the initial introduction of it, but then when it gets that Afro pop, it's pretty strong. Pip keeping it simple with those 6Ps, getting crossed up all over the screen with the meteors, with the weights, with the trumpet. Pip with a little flashy finish there with the items, gets the first game for themselves on the board.
That was Chekhov's trumpet right there. Just like it felt like so long ago. I thought maybe Zag would go back and get it. I even thought like they would get knocked into it. But the teleport from Gaming there, from Pip Gaming, was able to like get onto the other side, get the combo, and just convert off of that. We've seen a lot of really good conversions from what could this be from Pip.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most for, you know, It's not the most forgiving super if it goes wrong, I'll tell you that. But Pip saying, hey, I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a good time. And I mean, sometimes your good time lines up 3 games a row in your stream set here at ParagOnline. So Pip saying, hey, I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory. Let's see if Zag can keep slowing you down with some of those Unika normals. We definitely got a strong game plan there. We're willing to bait out those defensive mechanics if it comes to that. Going to try a side swap here to see if we can mix things up. Looks like Pip maybe not so happy about that one, saying, no, get back over there.
Yeah, so it turns out that that Zag is not a fan of Eno's theme. Once the song changed, we'll see what it got changed to. Is there Geek, is there a song that you cannot absolutely cannot stand if you see it? You guys like, I gotta change that. I gotta get my power up.
Now you know what I say, Risky. I say, maybe it's a song I don't like so much. Maybe I'm getting kind of trolled by the jukebox. I'll just say, wouldn't it be so funny if I won this anyways? And then I walk in.
Fair enough here. And it looks like, even though Zag complained about the music choices, getting hit pretty hard from gaming. Going nice backdash in there into the 6H tornado style.
What could this be? It's a couple weights, but that mini Faust, that's the house of an item. And it pays off. It locks down Zag into that Tsukiyomi of items.
Everyone's getting hit. Everyone.
Yeah, even Pip can't get out of that one unscathed, but we get around for it.
Yep, I like just using the air dash in there to get the approach on there, but Zag is just happy, kind of keeping out his own, but the jumping P, get out of the air. I want you down on the ground, please. Thank you.
There we go. Don't want anyone to be too comfortable running their plane. If that means you got to swat them down like a fly, ain't nothing personal, kid. We're going to try to win this Paragon match. Routing that DP, strong stuff. Zag evening up the rounds here. Pip will have that burst first. We'll have to see if that matters.
Goes ahead, get the enhancement on there with the follow-up, and we're going to get some good damage in here. Another follow-up, forcing the burst out from Pip Gaming.
That call right there by that close slash. Pip routing through this one, showing you that little change right there. You can go straight to that golf club if you like for the combos. PRC to keep that daughter dipper safe. Pip's going to stay on top of you, though. Zag ready to answer back with that burst. Either player's game.
Feels like a little bit of a return to the Scarecrow. I haven't seen that as much from a lot of Faust players recently, but got the hit with the trumpet, converting the combo. That's going to be the lead going to gaming 2-1 now.
Interesting choice right there. Watching it back, I was able to see if that trumpet didn't kill. We did Hail Mary it there on that item. It was an Afro that would have dropped. I don't know if it would have mattered. I don't know. But Pip saying, hey, I'm confident this trumpet's going to kill. My boys got me. Going to get a game here on the board. But the way that Zag is playing, I wouldn't be surprised if we got to see some more Unika rounds here coming out.
Yep, bunch of really good call-outs happening. Especially being able to convert into those enhanced options that Unika has that really kind of bring over the control that Zag needs in this. Unfortunately, right now, getting quite forcing the burst, have to deal with the bomb from a distance here. Does get the hit on here, but more items come out, more damage, and meteors are going to hit Zag.
Ooh, despite the mini Faust, despite the Afro bomb coming your way, we still held W and it paid off. Zag got Pip here in the corner and said, hey, even when I'm minus, I can still DP. Pip, we're going to get bursted back. Zag keeps the corner and gets rewarded with the wall break.
All breaks and excess damage on top of that, but the immediate PRC teleport on the other side does get the hair just set up right, a little bit on fire, just the way Faust likes it, and this incredible combo is going to get the follow up on there. YRC gets off and gets back into neutral.
Oh man. Pip said, hey, I don't even want to give the commentators a chance to see what's going on. No one can see what's going on. The way these animations are playing out. So, hey, block this. Literally no one can see what's happening.
Pay no attention to the man behind the combo on here. Faust a little bit of low profiling early on to get away from Unika's projectile on there, but we're getting stuck in the corner. Trying to go with the follow-up into the RC, trying to keep it safe.
I like that. Pip still trying to fight out of that setup that Zag went to the DP earlier on. So Pip not taking this from lying down, ready to play this fighting game in the RPS with it.
Pip got the maximum amount of distance they could from corner to corner in there, just because they were going to get the knockdown on there and just push the long side of the parade on there. Back in the neutral, the overhand coming out from Zag, trying to turn this round around.
Looks like it's going to be Zag closing it out right there, Risky. Taking all the way down the screen, walking this Faust.
You said it. You were talking earlier, Geek, that like this could really go either way. We could see a 2-2. I think this is our first 2-2 of the evening too.
It's worth it to me. Been seeing some awesome gameplay from both players, especially Pip did a cool setup there at the end. I think at least I'm used to seeing that thrust break the wall, but you saw that Pip actually waited purposely such that Zag was wall slumped when the thrust finally connected. So we were going to go for some crazy follow-up damage. Zag had to burst that one, and it paid off as we got a game on the board to even it up. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, absolutely here. Going right back into it. They're going to the side. Probably incredibly critical match in here for this open ladder for ParagOnline. The instant block in there into the tornado. Going to give Pip Gaming a follow-up on that, but doesn't get the conversion at the very end.
Trying to go for a 6H there, but Zag saying you're being too greedy, homie. I'm ready to fight out. I'm ready to keep the boxing. But if you whiff the normals, if you whiff the specials, and Pip's got 50 tension, you're going to feel it.
Unfortunately got the wrong item that they were probably hoping for on that. Gets out of the corner in time. Unika going to take full control. Doesn't get the wall burst, but still has access to that corner. Going to go ahead and follow with the overhead. And there we go. Walls are bursting for days.
Strong stuff right there. That overhead, I don't know the frame data. I just know it feels quick. That's a hard one to get around. You know, it just feels quick, Risky, but Pip's going to keep that pressure going, at least going to try to. Zag was ready with that DP, but too much respect on Pip's wake up. We're scrambling, quick normals back and forth. We're fighting this one out. Spaghetti's on the floor with this one.
And big combos are too with that counter. Going to keep up with the mix on the follow-up here. Zag smelling blood in the water against his Faust. Backing away slowly, detecting on the back tornado in here. Trying to call it out with a 2 heavy slash. Does get the second mark with the DP. And we're holding out a little bit of love in here. Getting the follow-up approach on there. A low profile, and Pip Gaming does help in the situation to turn things around just a little bit.
Able to get that far slash counter hit confirmed. Pip's got some cool routes. The burst does come out from Zag, feeling comfortable enough to try to win this one out. We have 50 tension to keep ourselves safe. The PRC comes out. The PRC trades from Pip. Any hit will do it. Any amount of chip. And it's going to be that stray hit JD. Zag showing that Unika has what it takes to call out some of the best Faust in the scene. We're moving on 3-2, but strong stuff from both those players.
Yeah, absolutely. Going the distance the entire way on there. And Zag, I haven't got to see even with Unika's still a relatively new character.
There we go. Chonkla, of course, I know them for that Kai. But hey, if you're boiling it down to like how strong these slash normals can be, not too much difference coming out here, especially with Chonkla having like a pseudo stun dipper on that Rekka and a DP. So we're seeing the whole moveset right now.
Interesting that we're seeing a lot of the gun come out from Lucy in there. It's just like it does. You can do up to 3 hits on there. You have the low profile on top of that. But we're just trying to keep away from a lot of the damage that he can do. But unfortunately, Ice Tower can hit you from anywhere.
And I like what we're seeing from Chonkla right there, using that JD to try to dance around it. Those DNF dual players know what Spectre looks like. And here it is. It's the closest thing you have and get to your drive. On a pixel, Chonkla still has a chance here on this Lucy, but you got to FD out every special. Geko was ready with that Ice Spear downtown to close out the round.
Song of Ice and Fire, bringing it down, trying to bring out the death of these characters for sure. But we're going to go with the follow-up hit on the 236K, like in there, just to get the cross up from Chonkla. Go into RC, keep it safe, play out the whip a little bit. Try to go in for the long delay on there, and Geko was ready.
I like that. Dude, oh, and that gunshot from Chonkla, the single hit from the Blicky right there was not enough to keep Geko from sliding at you on the kitchen tile. This is freshly mopped. Spring cleaning out here. These floors are slippery.
Oh, and yeah, it's like, oh, Geko wants that burst so bad. Tried to go in for the grab on there afterwards. Chonkla gets in there, gets the hit into the quick hack. A little bit of contagion, just going to go for the life drain.
showing you the Twitter combos right there. A little closer to the wall, and you would have seen a splat. But that was a lot of damage out here. Dude, Geko trying so hard to bait this burst. I don't blame you. But Chancla, despite being patient with it, wasn't able to use it to close out that game. In fact, it goes to Geko with some really strong zoning. But Chancla taking it down, making those rounds look kind of hard there when we get those Lucy combos going.
Yeah, it was really only when Chancla was trying to approach it, Geko was able to get a lot of damage on there. We saw at the very end, went in for the instant air dash in there, got caught by the ice tower early on just to finish out that round. No changes as we go into the next one for sure here, but looks like some of the gears are definitely spinning in between in this match.
Geko out here using that very strong 2D there from Dizzy for the round start RPS, and also just zoning back Chancla when we get a chance to breathe. Spends our burst. Geko looking for Chanclas. Chancla gotta give it to them. So patient, doesn't want to give Geko this burst bait, and it's giving us some chance to fight back here that we don't normally get.
Oh, the Oki ice tower on there. I do like that Chancla's been using the for lack of a better word, the Indiana Jones, like trying to grab on the ground, trying to get away from the situation a little bit. Does get the counter hit back into neutral. We're going to go ahead, go for the damage route on top of things here to the mono wire. Going to get that extra little bonus from the state that puts Dizzy in.
F5B is the mix. Chancla keeping the burst as well as taking the round. Being so patient with that defensive mechanic where we're playing without it at this point, risky, and it paid off. But Geko gets that first setup, gets that wings established, catches the backdash. Chancla still holding on to this burst. Geko going to threaten you with these wings, however.
Going ahead and gets the extra damage on top of that. I do like Geko throwing out the catch pitch, the high version of that, just to make sure that like Lucy Chancla does not try to jump out of there, and the Mikhail sword at the end with a perfect on there. Tie up the rounds.
What we got here in this round 3 of game 2, Chancla fishing for that 2S, very high reward, normal right there. He catches Geko trying to get a projectile set up when we're too close, but these re-stands give us some mix after the wings get answered by the burst. Chancla gets a chance to fight here and bait that reversal. It's paying off. We're sending this Dizzy to the wall.
Yeah, big opportunity to go ahead and get that extra damage on top of things here. Actually caught Geko trying to get away. Already like block approaching on there, wanting to keep like suffocate Dizzy in the corner here. We're going to go ahead with the mono wire, get that extra damage here. Still not enough to kill.
Still needs just one stray hit. That's why you see the boot coming out. Das Boot. That's a very fast normal, so too fast. In fact, Risky hitting that very active deflect shield, putting us full screen. Only needed one more hit to take it out. We can still fish for it here, whether it's going to be that boot, it's going to be the blicky. The super gets blocked. We're trying to run up and get a punish. It gets it with the throw. Awesome ending right there from both of our players, but Chancla's the one getting a game on the board.
Almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon at the very end, just like kind of slipping it on the ice, like opportunity, opportunity. But did get the throw. Very smart idea from Chancla, just to go in there, get the damage, and that would for sure to finish that off there. That's all you needed anyway. Ties up the rounds 1-1.
Chancla right there, showing off how funny that Lucy looks running on the tile, man. The floor is wet. We just mopped. Chancla scooting around in those socks, able to get that round, using that far slash for what it's good for. Very quick, very fast, very far. Geko bursts and puts this Lucy in the corner.
Yeah, when the floor is slippery like that, you don't want to mess it up. Mom's going to get so mad at you. But Chancla does get the hit on there, goes in approaching with the sprint attack into the RC. A little bit of mono wire for the trouble, put in the short nerve circuit state.
There you go. That's a short nerve circuit. I still call it stain, unfortunately, but I'm trying to get that habit. But there you go. Risky, the professional out here, ready with the government name. Chancla doing pretty good right here, though, Risky.
Doing pretty good, but I got caught in the fish sandwich provided by Queen Dizzy. Going to get the hit on there on the ice. Well, and like, do you get the hit? Do you block in time? Yes, you do. Holding it down and calls out the run-up from Chancla.
I love that Chancla just committed to saying, hey, I don't have a burst, and I don't need it. Look at this.
getting it by keeping it away. But Mikhail's sword trying to get him out. And we're just going to go up the run up, grab the Kai. Just classic.
Lord. I mean, to be fair, that's unironically, like, you know, Chonka right here trying to send a message, no doubt. But that's also just unironically very strong play right there on the Lucy. You got some very fast speed. You can just pull up and start throwing people, especially with that nerve circuit applied. You get those combos. Chonka's going to get a hard knockdown. We're going to see what kind of steps we get on these simple wall breaks.
Force the burst out there, get the knockdown. And I can kind of see why going in for the throw on there afterwards. Like the speed that Lucy can just get in at a moment's notice is terrifying, especially if you're just like too blink in between there.
Perfect.
And once you get just a couple of those throws risky, you get something interesting right there. Chonkla RPS with the run up jump shimmy. That JH is a very strong normal at doing that. So Chonkla, I mean, hey, hasn't even been a week. Already looking pretty good. Already having some setups to get through this Paragon ladder bracket. Good place to test out your metal to see if you got those combos.
Indeed. And you got plenty of matches to go along with it. As many as you want to play, at least in the open bracket part of it. So hopefully Chonkla is getting that data where they are on that. But 2-1, Chonka up on the match. Geko has been mostly holding their own, just been able to really kind of zone out. We do get in with the 2S on there into the ice tower set up in here, holding it back, forcing the guard crush on Chonka.
And I love that. Trying to go for the wings full screen. A good setup there from the Dizzy, but the Blicky is coming out on that other side. Gecko's still pulling up, sliding on the floor on our shins to get the follow-up to send this Lucy through the wall, saying, hey, look, homie, you got a couple throws in. I get it. You want me to react. So I'm going to jab you back. I'm going to close out the round. Even though I want to keep you full screen, I can fight when you're in my face.
Alrighty, yeah, forcing the burst out early on here. Ice Tower, a little bit terrifying, especially when we saw in that last one. For both sides now, this time Lucy being the hockey puck instead of Dizzy, getting a little bit of damage into the corner, little bit hit with the overhead, the monowire into the overdrive here. One hit's all you need just to break that wall. Wow.
Risky, this is looking good out here. Chonkla not only got the combos, but got the floor pickups too. Gecko with some good defense here. Deflexio buys us that time and distance to get some of that zoning applied, to get some of those slash normals out, but we're doing the L-Felt mix. We're getting over your head, we're calling out the reversal super, and we're evening up the rounds here in this game 4.
Yeah, we are net running in here, and Chonkla getting on that set point, trying to hold it down on here, but a big counter hit from the DP from Lucy.
Nipple string right there. But think about what it gives you, right? All that full screen
almost got it
presence,
again.
unfortunate whipping on the DP. Gecko sliding towards you, but not fast enough to connect with that special move. Gets this slump set up in the corner. The spears are coming out. The fish are coming out. Chonkla gets the gap to try to get out of here, Risky, but it's hurting.
Oh, it is definitely hurting, Cheek. That's going to hurt even more. We're going to end on the wallpaper finish in there with the Mikhail sword, and now we're tied up yet again. We got a 2-2 once again in this ladder.
Man, Risky, I got to hand it to Gecko. We've been in here for 4 games. We spent 20% of the in-match time trying to bait bursts. Chonkla has not been giving them up. Gecko in that very last round, still holding down back. I guess the button must be stuck, but hey, it paid off. Chonkla spent that burst. Gecko getting that game 4. Said, I got my burst bait. That's all I needed. But let's see if you can get the game 5 here against Chonkla running this speed here out in the Lucy.
Yeah, Chonkla earned that paycheck. It was like they're going to spend it when they wanted to spend it. It's their money after all, but this time going to get hit by Gecko. Dizzy does get the follow, like a big counter hit and forcing the burst out on there, but have to use the burst of their own to get on the other side and get away from some of this Dizzy damage.
Hey, not a bad choice to use that quick hack, even on the block strings with its ability to cancel your buttons, kind of like Red RC. Try to get tricky there with that stealth, but Gecko saying, hey, my buttons are big enough, I don't need to see you. Just need to know that you're in front of me.
Holding down, this time doesn't. Gecko's been doing a really good job of mashing out on those long string delays in there, but this time Chonkla gets to keep the plus frames off the monowire. Gets struck in on there that time. Short nerve stick is going to get extra extension on the combo. Not nearly enough to kill, but very close.
Using that mono wire to be +7 while applying that nerve circuit paid off there for Chonkla. The Wild Assault bring traps and gets us the round. We're here on set point, but we were able to slow things down there. Geko will have burst first, so we can get that distance back defensively if we need to and get that zoning applied.
It does get hit, gets a little bit, like, get hit on there. We're trying to get on the phone, get the short nerve circuit on top of that, forcing the burst, get away from the situation.
Fight connects. We use those plus frames from that floor bouncing to give us those wings after, and I love that 5-8. Call out that JD. You're not getting out of the corner for free, Chonkla.
No, not at all. Get like stricken down in here. Get to the other side. Give me that positive bonus. I need some of that meter, please. You have a full meter. I don't have any. I'm going to try to make it up very quickly.
Gonna be on that Hail Mary stun dipper red RC. Chonkla knows about those. Can pull him out on the Lucy as well, getting that nerve circuit, getting that combo routing as well. Oh, and a little too early there on the Rekka. Expected the wall splat, but it's gonna be that mono wire to close it out. Chonkla showing us some cool stuff here on this Lucy. Definitely loved watching that matchup. Geko put on combos and ways their characters play. The Browns just seem to go longer anyways, so definitely has been a different format out here. Now you got some pretty quick characters on the screen. You got DainsLeif on that Millia, had some love to that Estes. You got Nan on that Sin. Got brought down maybe a tier on this patch, at least that's our first impression, but she's going to see just how strong this ever-growing wild boy is. We're going to take you over here to this corner.
Take you for a ride. L-cut into the throw on there afterwards here, holding down, keeping Millia locked down on the ground where she doesn't want to be. She wants to fly free in the skies, forcing it back with the guard crush. Low on the stamina, but not on the jumping punches. You can have those for days. We have a bushel of them to get the round.
There you go. And then hit you with the Baker's Dozen combo. And now we're full
I like
screen.
ya.
We're trying to beat driver you out, but we're getting punished. DainsLeif doing some cool stuff here, stealing that corner. Nan just holding on to that burst.
Holding this back down on there, catching with the jumping slash into the cam top. Time for the mix up, and you get hit on that. Back in the neutral, but you have the bus all play into another tandem top setup, trying to set where the Sin, where Nanan's going to go.
Oh, I like that one. That's the 10A. It's that BRC air to air. Nan at that point, she held that burst for so long. I would have been surprised if we had saw it at any point in that round. We'll see if that ends up hurting her. Of course, she has it first here against DainsLeif. Maybe we can get a good counter hit like that one to bring this Millia over to the corner.
Oh, Nana's been trying to go in for the grab after knockdown on here, and DainsLeif is not holding still to make it happen, getting the punishes where they count, and actually does block with a safe jump setup in there from the DP. You want to take full advantage of that.
Just right there, simple setups. Nan doing a little bit of a handshake, a little too far away from there. DainsLeif's going to get another DP punish in this round alone. We're going to ladder you to the wall, and it's going to be close if it kills. We do have the winger, but we were doing that will it kill arithmetic earlier, and look at that. I'm right, Risky. That winger does no damage.
Jeek is on point for sure on this. Nanan's trying to find that one last hit. She's trying to get in there. Does get the throw. Kind of get back in there, but you know what? Just a simple little 2P love tap from DainsLeif just to make the first match theirs.
I like that. We didn't get too antsy with it, by the way. We only did need that last 2P to close it out, but Nanan would have counter hit us if it was at a ill-chosen time. So DainsLeif with some patience to finish our food. Nanan stepping away from the setup there. I hinted towards it earlier, Risky. I'm not lying, I swear. We do got other characters. Maybe we'll see the Geo. No, it's going to be the Kai coming out from Nan.
Okay, we got to call Dad out here. Dad, like I got problems, Dad!
I need help signing my my field trip form, Dad, please. Miss Millia's asking.
Yeah, she does grade you. Like on one of those little taunts she does, like on the victory post, she'll give you that grade. It's me.
Yeah, Kai out here saying, Sim, why'd you get a C-, homie?
Yeah, you got a C- in Millia-ology?
A mixology, if you're not blocking. But here we go, Nanangam coming out on that Kai. Gonna burst that first hit, but it's a good burst if you consider the DainsLeif is over here in the corner. Trying to get some deep mix on that walk up after the RC, but DainsLeif gets a second to breathe here.
Okay, going ahead, get the tandem top on here. Does get the confirm in there, back in the neutral. We're going to go, but we're getting slowly but surely Nana pushing into the corner. Quick RC to get the punish in the sky. Back in the corner you go.
Artemis jailing down Nana, but she's not holding it forever. Looks for that chance to slash out, gets that shock state applied. I like how we went for that mix with the 2K, but DainsLeif chose RC. And that gets us the second to breeze here again in this round. It's been going on for 50 seconds out here, Risky.
50 seconds, nearly tied in the life bars here. Faultless defense in the air into the 6P for DainsLeif here. Waiting on, trying to go in for the reset out there. Quick little tick grab. Gets over the Futura arc with the like the little bit of the low on there, and we get the hit on their DainsLeif, getting another round.
That was a really cool round right there. Got to see a lot of game plan from both players at different points of the match too. Both of them were winning it, and then when we're on that last fight, and doing some strong stuff on top of Millia out here, running that fly pressure. But DainsLeif doesn't hold it forever. Really to press that TP to try to get out when we can.
Gets going ahead, charge, getting that stun dipper effect on there. Actually gets the YRC just to get out of the corner and can confirm on the hit with the mix-up on top of things. And we're going in double instant air dash on the other side. We are, the mixology is real. Like, you are still in this class, lecture still on.
Yeah, the bell doesn't dismiss you. I do, but no. DainsLeif building that burst in time to stay alive, but only for a moment. Nan throwing that paper ball from the back of the class, takes that round.
Already getting the knockdown on here, staying on same side. Hold it down, doesn't go in for the follow-up option here. A little bit of a trade in here, but we go in with a jumping heavy slash from Millia.
DainsLeif does have this tension here. We're gonna see we get the chance to spend it risky, but Nana not gonna let you use it on that YRC. We're gonna throw you. DainsLeif getting a chance at JH, and that tension is so high. This is gonna be a big cash out if we get one more good hit.
The charge. Else this time we are blocking YRC's Opportunity City for Nan. It's going to finish with the DP in there to tie up the round, the match count.
Yeah, if you're not hip, this Kai does damage nowadays with those DP routes when that shock state's applied. So strong stuff. Mika-chan, by the way, big shout out to them, huge chatter. Ready with the lore on the Millia grading system. It's the aftermatch. It's a post-war administration bureau risk rating. So I like that. She's almost saying like how strong she thinks you are, if you're going to be a risk or not.
Oh, okay. So the D- when it comes to me is not my grade on that. It's just what Millia perceives as me as a risk. Got it.
We'll see out here if DainsLeif starts feeling the pressure, the risk of this Kai. Nan able to get a game on the board after swapping to that character, but trying to get this DP paid, trying to get those defensive mechanics baited out. Nan getting a little scrambly here, but DainsLeif gets this Seven Voices combo.
Overdrive burns like a bus-all blade, but we're going to get that wall bounce on there onto the other side. DainsLeif trying to recover from the character switch that Nan she brought into the spectacle here. Already getting near to the negative penalty time, but you're not even going to have to see that here. We're going to convert the combo into the wall. One more touch is all you're going to need with the Artemis. There we go. Round for DainsLeif.
Yeah, that Estes change, that was one of those ones, Risky, we were talking about how on paper some of these changes can be hard to tell how good they are. That Estes from Millia, pretty bonkers. DainsLeif showing you how. Nan, however, in this next round, running the pressure, getting that shock hit applied, frame trapping DainsLeif, looking for opportunities to bait the burst, but still gets the break and cashes out on a lot of HP.
Just go ahead and get the throw at the end there, tying up the round's critical moment here. This is on the starting with the loser side here, so whoever wins the set is going to be moving on. Whoever loses have to watch the rest of it on ParagOnline, both on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, at this point you're in the top 8. It's not an easy feat to make, so congratulations to everyone so far. But the players at this point in the bracket, they got bigger things to aim for. They're trying to get to that prize pool at the end. DainsLeif gets the counter hit, gets this remix in the corner. Not going to be enough to kill, but we have a lot of tension.
A lot of tension. He's already using immediately and just goes in for the air throw to finish things off. DainsLeif is up 2-1 so far.
I like that air throw. You don't see those on accident a lot here in the game, right? If you got that high APM, you're willing to react, that's when you see them. But you also see them as call-outs on people jumping out of certain situations, trying to get out of specific setups. And this is that setup character. Strong stuff there from Nan, answering with that throw, DainsLeif getting that game advantage here in that Millia. We may see another change from Nan, maybe from the Kai to something else.
Maybe. We'll see what the little characters play. And we see a Giovanna on the screen. Interesting. And I'm going to admit, haven't fought a lot of Giovanna since the new patch, so I'm kind of curious to see what Nan is seeing here in the final. She's locked into this character now, has to win the entire set with Giovanna.
I personally, I'm a true day one Nan-Nanner out here. She used to go by that Giovanna a lot more often than you see nowadays, but still has one in her back pocket. We'll see if it's going to be the comfort pick that gets us out of this set. But DainsLeif, they're playing on this hot on the Millia in general. Not going to make it easy.
No, not making it easy at all. Count calling out the first in there just to get the wall nearly tied up, a little bit ahead in the life count for DainsLeif. Going in, get the dash out into the far heavy slash in there. Cancels out the Iron Saber to keep up in the corner. We're going high to low into the cam top.
DainsLeif using those unique amount of air dashes to get some simple misses that DJH, but Nan gets that BRC to steal the corner. Looked like an OTG, but nope, you are still in the combo, and you get sent through the wall for it. Nan with a really good confirm to close out that round.
Yeah, keeping it safe early on with the spiral arrow. Going to get touched in by DainsLeif back into the neutral. Trying to set it up after the Mizra from Millia. Oh, the
from
big
downtown, and she almost confirmed it.
Yeah, the big 2D doesn't get anything for it, unfortunately, but at least gets a precarious situation. However, getting knocked down onto the other side, onto the bonus for DainsLeif. And already ready to go against another spiral arrow from Giovanna. Going to go in with the winger, take over the round.
And we had that PRC to back us up just in case. We're down to the burst being even on each side. One round will either decide if DainsLeif moves on or if Nan locks in on this Giovanna. We're playing some good old Guilty Gear nooch out here. We're just blocking buttons. We're spacing out others. We're FDing out our opponents. And a great delay tech turned into a back throw for Nan to start this off.
Yeah, using a lot of meter during the faultless defense that Nana was trying to do there. Does get the hit on there. Unfortunately, not able to convert just because of the burst from DainsLeif. Able to get back into the mix-up territory. He's been really doing a really good job blocking all of this. Backdashing just in time. Does get hit with the Lust Shaker, but we're going to get also hit with the close slash in here to begin things anew for DainsLeif.
Oh, that was that a same side turbo fall? That was an interesting setup there for DainsLeif. Gets the hit and gets the wall break for it. Man, that was a lot of damage for Winger, but we know that super can't kill. Nan gets another chance here to breathe.
Oh, the bad moon rising, falling down on the head of Giovanna. That is going to make it.
What do we got? We got Cyber versus Magicians out here. Call this Yu-Gi-Oh!
Technology versus magic, all encompassing on here, and we're already throwing out the time cubes from Madchu.
Like that, the last shot of the Glicky right there. Of course, you can modify it a bit. 1 shot, 3 shots. Chancla mixing it up pretty well here. It's going to be that cross-up overhead to start this off. We do have that nerve circuit applied, and it paid off with that far slash hit. Madchu staying alive here on this. Asuka does get the burst away from Chancla.
Yeah, the short nerve circuit, kind of like what you said during the ladder on there, kind of acts like Stain, just has a do get the extra counters, damage on there. You're able to kind of convert a little bit further on that. Chancla showcasing that pretty good here. Madchu trying to get anything started here, but unfortunately not really getting anything. Chancla's just been calling it out.
Chancla ready with those RC combos as well. Definitely pretty comfortable on this character. That's not an easy thing to do in this little bit of time. Only the true grinders start getting that comfortability, start working out those kinks on a timeline this small. Got the Paragon hosting their first bracket here on this new patch. If you like what you see from this character variety, from what characters look like they're going to be on top, it's a good time to get in. Start start watching out some good gear drive at Paragon.
Oh, I like actually using the gun with Unity in there from Jonfa to call out at least a couple of the shots over. And because you can cancel that out, you can actually control that a little bit as long as you can handle the quick cube coming toward you. Unfortunately, was not able to do that. We're going right into the overdrive. Not going to be enough, but significant damage anyway.
Strong uses that teleport, and there's another one in the back pocket there. It comes out, but Chonkla had the time to block this one. Had a lot of tension and burst to play with if we really wanted to. Madchu doesn't give you the chance to think, hits you with a throw.
Popping out, checking on, reading the book on there. Does get the conversion on there. Big cube coming to play, forcing the burst out from Chonkla. And we go into the sprint attack, the crossover in there. Back throw from Madchu, take over the corner, and we're side switching in here. Hello!
I'm watching the cards down here, Risky. When I see those teleports, I get excited the way the Madchu's playing. I like that approaching 6P as well. That bar slash, a hell of a button. You get that straight hit. So Madchu using that upper body and vulnerability. Chonkla is going to get that follow-up, though, sending you through that fully charged mono wire.
Yeah, put the on the quick attack, put the algorithm and the contagion on top of things in there, so going to drain a little bit of health, which is especially good against Asuka just because you have access to shield. So anything you can do until the shield goes away to make extra damage happen would be good. The burst.
That burst at a really good time.
Keeps it up, the RC, keep it safe. Into the BRC, the side switch on here. Chonkla has access to the burst. They're trying to bait it out really hard, doesn't get it.
Yeah, Chonkla does not burst for free, y'all. Chonkla said, I'd rather die with the meter full or wait for the next interaction. Use that wild assault that I saved up to confirm the combo and then get the first game on the board. If you weren't watching earlier, Chonkla will not let you get that bait, at least not if you don't donate some rounds first.
No, you got to make sure to make a charitable donation and make that tax write-off on there afterwards for sure for that burst.
Wrong stuff. Chonkla getting that first game on the board. Definitely an awesome one to win. Madchu playing pretty cool there on that Asuka. Definitely not a character I expected to see in here in this top 8, Risky, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Definitely the character got a little bit of love this patch. We're still trying to figure it out, just like the rest of the cast. Madchu showing it off, though.
Yeah, I love the teleport and kind of the setup. Trying to keep Asuka busy with the cubes a little bit, holding it down, waiting for the proper moment here. We're just kind of playing the zoning game from Chonkla.
Honestly, yeah, pretty good use here of the fireball, of the gun. Going through all those cubes, that's 3 hits that go through cubes. Actually not a bad choice in this matchup.
Put in the short circuit nerve state. Does get the hit to get away here, but you're still stuck in the corner. Doesn't do the follow-up on the sprint attack here, but doesn't actually get onto the other side before the spear explosion in there. That's going to be a round for Chonkla.
Oh, awesome stuff there from Chonkla. Madchu was showing some good defense there in the corner, just holding that down back, looking for that perfect time to play, was checking with the 2P, gets rewarded with how we're playing this combo. We got a lot of mana, we got some decent spells to get going here. Probably fishing for one of those staffs if we can get them, but Chonkla DPing through these cubes, showing off that special move.
Yeah, the DP, like one of the few standing DPs that doesn't actually get off the ground in this game, and but unfortunately, like, has a little bit of that delay afterwards. He gets hit by the cubes on there afterwards. Even Madchu on the momentum, on the offensive, already like calling out, like, sway back on the tick throw. We're going for another one in there. Get the strike down.
I don't know what it is risky about Asuka throw, but man, that one's a little harder to tech. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You can probably speak from experience. Chonkla. Unfortunately, we missed the corner combo here, but we're keeping things going.
Hold it down. We're going to keep those plus frames. Got to put those short nerve circuit. Wait a little bit one more time here. You have the corner, and you're going in for the cross-up edge. One more cross-up. He's playing the Giovanna game, and does get the tap dust on top of things into the overdrive. Very nice.
Yeah, great routing, because not only do you get that wall break before Madchu could burst, but you also got the mana away. So perfect timing, no tension after that YRC, but just had enough to get that mana back. Smart stuff. Chonkla did build up that tension, though, and was willing to show you the reversal super we're getting another game on the board, but we're going down to that last round. These are looking awesome.
Yeah, you have we're seeing a lot of more retaliation happening from Chancla just to try to Madchu's been changing up the game a little bit, but Chancla's been like, you know what? No, I'm not afraid of your squares. I'm going to go in here with the DP in here. It's going to cover up everything here. I don't even care about the recovery frames on there afterwards. I'm just trying to make sure that like if I can touch a hurt box, it's going to touch you, tag your rip. But here comes the May.
There we go. Risky loving seeing this May when we get the chance to. So Madchu pulling it out, even if it is in this potential last game or the start of greatness. Gonna try to get that DP set up, but Madchu with a good whip punish, with a good re-jump back in. Chancla showing you that DP, though, still not afraid to press it.
Hold it up, going to keep up plus with the low option sprint attack from Lucy. Gonna go already back in there, but does get hit with after the BRC, the S4 on the Dolphin. Holding down and try to go in for a close slash, but says no with the DP from Chancla.
Using that blue wild assault to keep the pressure going. Madchu some good defense, didn't get too antsy there. Chancla getting low on this HP. One good May string will be all she wrote, but Chancla gets the next pickup as that circuit applied, and this May is trying to get out of the corner. We finally get it right there. Awesome stuff.
Love the use of the vertical dolphin in there just to kind of get around the, a lot of whip options are mostly vertical on there, like they cover a long distance on there. So like if you can find that gap in there and just approach with the fast vertical dolphin, you can get away from it. Right there, got it again, enough time with the follow-up the 5K to get into the corner here, holding down, trying to find a button in there, holding back with the BRC for the RC.
We're blocking out like crazy. Chancla hitting those slash normals in every what direction. Madchu is dancing around you with these dolphins, just blocking on every side. We spend that burst from Chancla. Get down to the other side. We're trying to get some optimal shooting positions. It looks like Madchu's still on top of you with the May.
Yeah, breaking on through to the other side. Enough time for an Oki setup from May. Keep it on, and you know what? If they're not responding to anything else, if you don't think they're going to hit a button, run up, grab, get the round. Fast turnaround there. Madchu getting on the board.
Yeah, Madchu, from what I remember, actually, Risky was very grab heavy with those overhead kisses as well. So maybe some comfortability coming out there for Madchu at the very end of the rounds. Starting to feel themselves a little bit. Started going back to what game plan was working. We did spend those first two games on the Asuka. They weren't for nothing. We got some data. Chancla is going to have to adapt here to this May and then seal out this set.
Definitely been calling out the use of the gun from Chancla in there, just being able to either approach or just instant air dash or do the split from Dolphin in there just to make cover their approach.
Chu was still creative about that approach. Sometimes it's as simple as vertical Dolphin counter hit. Sometimes you got to get tricky with it. Madchu's doing some good jobs with that one. Chancla gets red RC here. We're going to take this Lucy down to the corner.
Oh, actually caught the hurt box on the whip on the flop, but just been kind of waiting for that moment. Here comes the vertical Dolphin, trying to get that approach in there, forcing the burst off for Chancla. One good hit is all that Madchu needs, but so Falcon could turn things around at a moment's notice, like right now. Got the close slash into the tick throw, tying it up.
Yeah, we got so much tension right here. The next one, we'll do it for either player. I like that BRC drift down, and that's some momentum, trying to use those May anchors to deal some damage. The PRC gets checked by the 4-framer. Oh, this is actually so close, Risky.
Oh, it almost had it there too, but goes in. Close slash into the low option from Chancla. Going to take that round set point.
60-second round out there. Strong stuff. We're going down to the wire out here. Chancla not going to make it easy for you to just swap this May and then mix them up. You're going to have to earn it one.
Gotta love disjoints on there. Getting into the approach on there yet again. Actually catches Lucy in the air, but doesn't get anything follow-up, which is a little bit too low.
Counter hit confirming that close slash. That gets you a pretty good route here. Chancla's going to keep it going with that Rekka, with that nervous state. Put that algorithm at the best spot, and look at where this May is in the corner. Where did that HP go? Chancla getting flashy there at the end. They're going to be moving on 3-1 here in this top 8 of Paragon Online. But you're going to be going up against the Faust. This is Lurry. This is no slouch. This is one of the strongest online players in the scene right now, let alone Faust player. Zag going to be showing you how strong this Unika can be. He's still developing.
Yeah, absolutely on there. And I gotta shout out Lurry with the S2XL spawn tag on there at the beginning. North Carolina FGC is definitely mentioned. SQ happening in late September on that. I'm definitely going to that event, seeing it, hanging out with my North Carolina friends on that. It's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, I'll be making that drive down, so you'll see me too as well, Risky.
Okay. Yeah,
we'll have to get some games in, homie. Got to show me that May if we have any time, but
definitely.
We'll be seeing Lurry there. Hopefully seeing some of y'all out there support the net plays, but also support your offlines if you got them in the region. Lurry trying to show some respect to that one with the tag, fighting out against this Unika out here. Already has the round advantage, but Zag is using that red RC to send you through the wall here, cashing out. Looks like some good damage over this Unika.
Oh, tries to go for the tick throw. Lurry was already up in the air. Does get the counter hit back in the corner, but we're going into the tornado of souls here for Lurry. Into, throwing out the bomb, getting played back forth, jumping up with the super jump just to get out of the situation, had to abort.
Oh, calling out that J2K, that can be a tricky button there from Faust. Zag was ready with the DP, but Lurry gets the next hit, gets the OTG with the close slash, and that was all we needed and all he wrote. Gets this first game here on the board on the Faust. Unika is a new character to the game, so you still got some learning to do against her, but also this Faust is so unique, so rare. There's a lot you're going to have to learn about this matchup specifically, no matter who you play. Dag's finding out here on the moment up against Lurry.
Yeah, we were seeing Pip gaming earlier on the stream during the latter part, showcasing a lot of different mix combos into teleport haircut, just kind of getting things going, kind of keeping you guessing on the side. Lurry would just be incredibly impressive.
Dag gonna try to stay in this corner here with Lurry, but Lurry gets that next counter hit, so just bringing the Unika down the screen, keeping it simple with just that JT. But when you cash out into the super after, it's going to be some pretty good damage here. Lurry feeling good about that comeback situation. Was down there, down backing in the corner, but got the hits, got the corner carry, and he has this Oki here.
Okay, Lurry gets at least a meter with that back, with the positive bonus. Gets on the other side. Nice block from Zag here. Going to have an opportunity to even out the health bars here. Goes opts for the Wild Assault, trying to burst down. It finishes off with the Mega Death Buster just to take the lead.
Awesome stuff. That did cost a lot of resources, but we're in a much better situation. Blocking out all that burst there from Lurry. Zag in a very good spot with this tension. This means to get a great hit and a way to spend it, but Lurry finally gets picked up on the recovery after that backdash. I think it was as simple as that. Zag gets his first round of game 2.
We saw when the nerfs actually happen across the universal nerfs happen, where you have a full meter and you have to spend both of that just to cancel out from super and be able to kind of get your mix up in there. That's tension is now spent immediately upon use of an overdrive in there. So no more free PRCs for especially Faust and whatnot. So you're having to do alternate routes to use a little bit more meter. Just saw that happen in the last round.
Guys got a lot of meter to show off here in use as well. Gonna use that DP, the empowered one, to keep the combo going. Not enough to get the wall splat, so Lurry gets a chance to spend that deflect shield and is fighting back here, bringing Unika down the entire screen.
Oh, I'm not sure, must have just been slightly too far away, or just a little bit invulnerable during that time. Did not get the command grab. Zag took that to tie things up 1-1.
Down to the wire there too. Zag still fighting that defense there, using that backdash in the corner, saying, hey, look, I gotta be defensive here. I'm not just gonna wake up and press an attack button, but I gotta do something to try to come back here. Uses that backdash. I mean, Zag doing some cool stuff. Both these players, right? We get a hit by the nature of both these characters, the way the mix carries, the way that Daughter Dipper and that 2S go full screen, that 2H. Both these characters, when they get a hit, they are carrying you to the other side of the screen, taking it for a whole field trip, taking away all that HP.
Yeah, it's very quick. As soon as they get that hit in there, the railgun comes out from Zag, though, early on. Going to get the confirm into the wall splat on top of it, but took too long. Now your candy is gone. You're in the corner.
Mini Faust coming for everything that they can get. Gonna spend that burst to get some distance back. Lurry just gonna zone you for a second, uses that J2K to get a couple hits back to back. That one turning into a combo. Zag has tension here on the other side.
over, but you know, we're getting those buttons hit on there, getting forcing the burst out in there. The teleport into the PRC in there, close and personal. Faust is going to go. That's going to be the round for Lurry.
At attention to catch out. Uses that super to get a round 2 on the board. Now this one's not for, you know, you can't relax here. Zag got a game back here. Zag could potentially get a couple more and actually move on and beat that Unika over on that winner's side. Lurry's going to try to lock things down a bit, try to tighten it up, and try to take it back for the Faust, where we expect Lurry to be up there in that winner's finals.
Get back in there, daughter Dipper coming out, and we're going to get that firm into the command grab, Afro time, getting the mix up with the tornado. Good blocking from Zag just to get away from the situation, but the scalpel always finds his mark.
Getting that burst just in time. Lurry gets a second to breathe. Another J2K risky. That's looking like the MVP button out here.
Was able to get the conversion on there from the trade of the close slash in here. That's gonna, is that like, I've got to go back into a look at that meter. Yeah, that slash is in there, guaranteed on there. 2-1 now for Lurry.
Awesome stuff. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Those were some quick rounds right there too. For Faust winning, those were some quick rounds right there. Lurry definitely pretty good at turning some of those even very stray hits into at least corner carry. Sometimes the setup, if not taking away that whole HP bar. We're going here in the game 4. No swaps, same matchup. Let's see what the changes are.
Yeah, Zag, it's no lie, Zag's definitely been getting hits where they count, but Lurry's been, even those resources for key moments in there where it kind of matters. Unfortunately, now stuck on the other side, but yeah, Lurry's just been waiting, kind of denying a lot of those opportunities for Zag.
Zag Redder seeing that overhead. That's a lot of damage. Strong stuff there from that Red RC confirmed from Zag.
All the trade in from the quarter circle H in there. Tried to go for the command grab and actually had enough time to block the 6P on there afterwards from Lurry and actually take back their turn. Zag is not going down without a fight.
I like that Lurry actually trying to reposition that mix, trying to give it some horizontal love. Lurry now zoning you back. That banana, oh, Zag hit it first, so it healed Zag, and then the peel hit Lurry. What a weird situation.
The immediate Mario Kart happened. This time, Mini Faust does get hit. Zag is going to get converted. The conversion from Lurry, from Mini Faust, is going to break down the wall with the overdrive. Going to put Lurry in a really good position this round.
When people say Mini Faust is good risky, that's what we're talking about. Not when he, you know, walks away off the screen, but when he enables stuff like that, that looks so sick. Good stuff there, Lurry.
Oh, I like the idea, trying to get away with the Daughter Dipper. If we get it on their back, we do have to confirm on here. Not enough to break the wall, but does get the on-the-ground hit. The conversion, though, from Lurry. You want to get that hit one more time, tying up into that point now.
Yeah, that was such an insanely placed J2K there from Lurry. Zag had a hard time trying to anti-air it. That's why we're here in this round. And you did spend that burst. Not close enough to hit the banana peel. Zag getting pushed out by some of these special moves. Lurry, good job blocking it out. Looking for that time to punish.
Playing the Quake 3 railgun game, does get a couple of marks. And actually got pushed away with the, I guess the Mini Faust expertly jumped over it just to make sure they could keep their turn on there afterwards. And we're going to break down that wall.
Now that was actually swag. Zag almost got hit by the behind the back Mini Faust right there. Well placed double jumps to turn that into another combo. Holy moly, Zag out here. You're talking about Mario Party mini games. That was Zag right there.
Yeah, Zag was just threading the needle right there. I thought for sure either a deflect shield or the faultless defense would kind of push back to where they would barely touch Mini Faust, but was able just to avoid it. That was very good from Zag.
Lurry getting that punish. Zag spending that Daughter Dipper early, was ready with the first to keep the pressure rolling. Lurry doing a pretty good job of getting some of these straight hits, but that's a double follow-up right there. Zag able to whip punish that 5H and walk this bounce down the screen.
Back into neutral we go. More tornadoes for you, for your enjoyment, but we go in. We get the strike with DP from Unika, from Zag.
Jumps in, gets the punish. Better see this turn this one into a wall break. This is, I mean, this is only going to be a soft knockdown, but risky dog. I mean, you can speak for that. That is a lot of damage.
It's an extreme amount, like very cold. Oh, the immediate turnaround from Lurry, though. This is why Lurry is one of those Faust to be feared.
One more hit here for Zag or Lurry. We spend that tension, but I was about to say, yeah, Zag, early burster. I'm going to keep it a million.
Jumping dust. A lot of items coming out to play. They get the follow-up with the normal version of the DP, it looked like, from Zag. The trade out in the favor of Zag is on set point, taking the lead.
We're seeing some very random situations out here. Definitely the deck of cards. I've never seen situations like these before, and you never will again. And it's in Paragon Online.
Paragon Online is where it's at for sure. Tripped over the banana, had to did not get hit by the hammer just because of that. Using the jump dust away from Zag, just trying to get out of the corner, but unfortunately not to be. On the ground damage from Lurry, as we're getting knocked out. The quick RC to get the knockdown, doesn't get the item they want, so just goes in for the 6H afterwards. Set point for both players.
Yeah, shout out to Lurry. Saw the combo to win and to kill and to secure that round. Said, I don't even need to see that trumpet. So good stuff, keeping your eyes on the prize. You get rewarded for it. We're in the last round of this last game. Zag's running the pressure right here, but too far away for the overhead to connect.
Yeah, Lurry just had to walk back. Didn't have to do anything fancy at all.
This ping pong is paying off for Lurry.
Zag gets a tasty potassium tree, but it's going to be Lurry tripping up on the litter. Now time after the Daughter Dipper to get an RZ, get the continuation of the combo, forcing the burst out from Lurry. Last chance.
Dude, Lurry's combo getting interrupted by that banana was crazy, especially considering what the potential outcome is here. Zag only needs one more hit, and it's going to be the projectile calling out the same side crow in a heater matchup right there. Zag's the one moving on.
Is that like... Wow, like Zag being able to just like take that with the Quake 3 railgun at the end there, just like Jack to might be ahead. And MacMens on the Anji, no real surprise there.
Yeah, definitely two of the best pilots of these characters out there. MacMens coming out on that Anji. Love seeing what we can see from this MDBA Anji. Jack. Of course, if you watch any online strive, at this point, a lot of big offline strive, you know about the Titan of the game, Paragon's Jack.
Yes. Deus Ex Machina going to get the burst on the other side. So some of the changes that Anji got in the recent patch, feels like overall kind of like an adjustment of the character in some ways. You still have access to some of the oppression in there, but you're going to have to like really hold down where Anji goes.
Meanwhile, this Happy Chaos definitely got a little less touch than maybe some people were hoping for on this last patch. But I'm going to keep it a buck, man. I've seen Jack play not just all these different iterations of Happy Chaos, but other characters as well. It's going to be hard to keep this guy down. He's going to figure out some way to dominate the scene one way or the other. So right now, it's going to be getting that first round against MacMens here.
Already putting the snake ball on them, and MacMen tries to get the approach. Nice blocking from Jack, and they're trying to go with the follow-up on the 2K Ether, but it's going to be MacMen. It's going to get the conversion in the corner, trying to fake it out with the BRC, but Jack is not falling for it.
Good blocks here and good techs. MacMen's got that fighting game fundies. Can block it out with the best of them. Jack not overusing those a.b.a buttons, just trying to block it out simply out here, but MacMens is getting a lot of stray hits, maybe one too many risky, and it's going to be that Fujin to close it out. We're evened up on rounds here.
Having heal with Fujin, gets the knockdown, going to have the conversion combo, forcing the burst away from Jack. You're back into neutral, keeping into that mid-range.
Oh, nice job using that pin to keep this AC down, but gets that chance to get the punish. Jack's lobbed out that situation before, was ready with the 2K, steals the corner back, puts MacMens here in the corner, and now you're holding that strike throw.
Doesn't get the follow-up, unfortunately, but that's okay. Still plus, going to get the half dust on there afterwards. MacMen finally has a chance to get the knockdown, get away from that. Cancels out the delay on there, but when push comes to shove with that far slash from Happy Chaos, you know things are going to be bad.
It's going to be that fall down JS to get the counter hit. Jack not going to have enough to kill here. In fact, doesn't get the hard knockdown. But we only need one straight shot to close it out. MacMens is going to play perfectly here.
Going ahead and getting the throw on there, just at the end there. Jack up one. Yeah, Jack has just been incredibly good this entire time. Still going strong here.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell just look at the screen and see how much punish comes up, especially when they were in the corner. Jack knows how to RPS with the best of them, knows all of these very strong characters, all the counterplay against them. You can't just put on that HC mask and then all of a sudden be the best in the world. No, you have the hours against the strongest players. You've labbed out these situations, getting another punish right there, taking MacMens to the corner. Jack makes it look easy. I'm going to keep it real, but this is the best play in the game.
Yeah, and I like actually calling out the Fujin early on with Farm Slash from Happy Chaos. Going to go ahead and get the punish onto the other side. Already at that last third of the life for MacMens. Testing out with the follow-up. You get the delayed PRC into a combo into the Deus Ex Machina. A lot of damage. That does kick in. Anji does have still that high amount of guns. Probably the highest in the game, I believe.
But not able to block through that parry right there. Jack's delaying that shot long enough, gets the punish on that reversal super. You gotta send it, you gotta show them that you're willing to use it risky, but Jack gets the punish here, still has this round advantage, trying to get those delayed 5Ks across backdash, but MacMens getting some distance and getting a chance to get in when he feels comfortable.
Going in with the huge and follow up on the low, trying to check with the overhead. Jack blocking all of this, still just maintaining, like waiting for the patience out just to get that knockdown, get the side switch on there, as we were seeing in that last match between these two. Gets to confirm it in the SX Machina. Nice.
Jack's going to loop this positive bonus hard knockdown situation until it's forfeit. So you got to find a way to stop it. Good stuff there, MacMens. Fighting back out, getting a chance to get something set up, but Jack with an early Deus Ex here, trying to take away the chance of MacMens to burst, but that means we also don't get the kill.
Blocks on the gold burst, but no punish in there. A little bit more tricky to punish on the gold burst, but here we go. We're getting that concentration on the Milton Bradley game, getting in there, but the counter hit from MacMen trying to keep alive, but he's still stuck in the corner dealing with his damage.
Oh, there we go. MacMens was ready with the fuzzy tech, and it worked earlier, but then Jack saw that you were going for it, hit you with this shimmy, and closed out that game. Man, both these players are so strong. The only reason you see a situation like that is because MacMens is good on defense. MacMens is looking out for that delay tech, trying to call out this gunshot, 5K, 6K strike throw. But that means the shimmy becomes that much more powerful. Jack gets that second game. We're going to potential last one unless MacMens puts the brooms away here in this Anji.
I could see definitely like making some changes and MacMen coming back on this. But Jack has been showcasing like a very strong dominating performance here so far. We're in the corner. He does get hit the overhead, get another hit. The fast BRC in there goes into the Wild Assault and forces Jack to use all of their burst meter. Here, this is a good opportunity as long as they can convert on this damage.
Good tech right there. MacMens ain't gonna let you get a throw for free. Using those RC delays, it's gonna be the double overhead follow-up to keep Jack here in the corner. And the stagger is so powerful that we get that throw in, we get that 6H to keep us going. MacMens only needs one more hit to take this round.
I like the use of the DP in there, just trying to cover a lot of distance in there. Does get the round on the conversion on that final hit here. MacMen is on the board.
Got it. Dude, risky. He's unthrowable.
No, getting all that damage in there. Get the follow up here. Ooh.
The anti-air getting jumped over. Well, depending on who you root for, that is. Jack was able to get that first away from MacMens, but we're getting these straight hits. I like how we keep the meter, right? We're not just cashing out everything on Red RC. We're trying to get the next setup. We're trying to get you in the corner, and then we're going to start picking apart, seeing if we get those overdrives in.
Has both the full stick of butter on deck here. Gets the overhead here, holding down. Want to make sure that when they do convert, they're going to get maximum down damage. The burst is gone from Jack's table here. MacMen is trying to turn things around here, has the opportunity to do it here, has used all the meter, doesn't need anything else though. Leave it all on the table, getting one match on their side.
There you go. MacMen's not just like probably one of the best Anjis, but also just one of the best fighting game players, bro. I'm gonna throw it out there. I gotta give MacMen some more credit, my man. Very strong in a lot of games, and it pays off in those situations. Blocking out those overheads, those universal ones, teching out those throws, chasing down those backdashes when it's time to, conserving your meter. MacMens is playing a different level of the game than some of these others are. Jack, definitely a very strong opponent. Put that to the metal. Yeah,
lots of use of the 5K, going to do like kind of adjusting the timing a lot of the boosting setup. They're going in for the pin a lot in there, just to keep it plus, especially in the middle there. But we are going in here, trying to get the conversion on here. Jack is not taking this down without a fight. Got the RC, and just another little touch is all you need at that point for Jack.
I mean, of course, Jack was picking the combo to kill right there, but very not afraid to cash out on those throws with fast RC gunshot to get all that damage, and also you get to reload it back. Jack definitely very strong with those setups. Gets the 5D to that gunshot, picked up MacMens, was ready with the burst, and it pays off because you've got this HC in the corner.
Fast PRC in there, forcing the burst out from Jack. On the other side, time to guess which side you're on. MacMens gets to confirm, and the pressure in the corner, and then just tried to go in for the overhead, and Jack was having none of it, just ready to tap on the gap.
Cool RC drift forward there combo from Jack. Building up the focus, getting the Deus Ex at the end. Man, carried it down the screen, was ready to execute that combo. Hard knockdown to file it up. We only need one last round to close out this set. But risky, MacMens has the tension. He's spending it. He's trying to get on you.
Okay, gets on the tech on there, on the follow-up, get the throw. The wild assault, blue on there. You're going to get the conversion into the combo. That's all you need for Jack to move on into winners finals.
Nah, Jack is Jeek over in their region. So he has that Millia XP here on the Faust. Let's see if DainsLeif has that as well.
Times the burst out there just to make sure that they have the corner here. And kind of holding it down, waiting for an option. Does get hit with the 6H, bouncing on that a little bit back into neutral for the characters.
There's that mini Faust. It worked really well for us in some of those previous matches. You have to go back and watch the bot if you missed them. DainsLeif getting picked up by that mix. Tried to go for the J2K route to get the splat. But unfortunately, it drops here for this Faust. Now DainsLeif is running this throw pressure.
Like waiting out for something, like didn't punish on the backdash in here. But the air throw, Lurry takes the first action on there to take the round.
A lot of us know that that mix is actually minus on block, so DainsLeif went for the punish, but Lurry knew that and actually wiggled it a bit to get that punish to close out the round. Also got a nice combo to close out all of this Millia damage, eating the mini Faust as well, so we're looking pretty good here. DainsLeif finally gets some knockdowns.
Millia's definitely a character that bleeds, but that was still a significant chunk of damage. Going to keep it all plus with the RC on there afterwards. Into the wild assault for on the ground damage after. Enough time for the mini Faust to come out and immediately cause havoc.
Yeah, interrupting that 2K2D win con scenario. Mini Faust was existing on the screen, slowed down the match a bit. DainsLeif blocking out those attempts to frame shot from Lurry, and it pays off. We punish that item toss, and then we're taking this Faust down in the corner. Even despite the fuzzy jumps, we're still connecting on block and keeping this Faust back.
Lurry just trying to find a moment, finds it in with teleport 2K in there, the multiple hits into the tornado, finishing that out there. Like the chat is saying, Jeek, Lurry is playing for his life here.
Yeah, I mean, Lurry, if Lurry picked Faust, you got a gamer lean in that set. I don't know who you're playing against. I don't know who they play. But if you're on the Faust and you want to win, you got to get that gamer lean. You got to get that pose in. I know Lurry probably leaning all forward right now. We got the headphones on. But we're feeling good about it, Risky. We got a game on the board.
Are you combining like the lean and the arms crossed? Is that the ultimate tech? Is that really what we're...
Yeah, no, for real. You gotta get intimidated. I know you're on the other side of the screen, but you gotta lean in. You gotta get those arms forward. You gotta show that you know what you're doing.
Act confident, be confident. That is for sure on that. Another teleport into the 2K. Going to get the follow-up into a little bit of love. Does actually get the hit on there. A little bit too late on the command grab. Going to give DainsLeif a chance to escape.
DainsLeif really does capitalize on these situations to play the game. We're getting a couple throws in, we're getting some hard knockdowns, and Lurry is getting mixed up by him. We are getting it chipped away, but DainsLeif needs more of those interactions if we're going to close out the rounds. Lurry doing a good job with zoning, with this item play. It's been paying off for him, using this wild assault to keep it going, but unfortunately dropped the JD. And look at that, risky DainsLeif was ready to keep playing.
I don't think, it's been a while since I've seen Afro with Winger at the same time on that. Does get the hit, confirmed for Lurry to get the round at the end there, but DainsLeif was finding ways to get out of that. There was a lot on the screen that Lurry would just kind of keep in control, make sure it was plus the entire time. DainsLeif really couldn't get anything started that round.
Luckily this round though, we're getting it started. We're getting this wall break with the Artemis. Goes down a lot of damage. Look at Lurry doing that wiggle with the mix, saying, hey, if you get too early trying to take your turn back, we're going to clip you. But DainsLeif with some good patience, able to keep this Faust here in the corner. Lurry going to spend that burst to stay on this other side.
Okay, does slip on the pin out of field, so does end the combo on the, like after the tornado here. Trying to hold it down. We're trying to go a little bit fishing on there. Enough time for DainsLeif to approach, but no dice.
And these banana peels, we got to have a phone call with these banana peels after this Paragon Online. Lurry's going to have to call the Faust health department. We're going to have to get some reimbursements out here with how bad these banana peels have been. DainsLeif, we got that H-disc, we got the pickup, and that's going to be the round right here. Risky strong stuff here. DainsLeif on that Millia.
All right, yeah, turning things around slowly but surely here. Already getting caught with the 5K from Lurry early on in this match. Trying to find a way with the 6 feet, nothing for it, but the Furball Fall does get the mix up going for days.
DainsLeif out here with some good just blocks against Lurry's pressure, and it pays off, right? We get that run up 2K2D to get the win con as the punish on the thrust. Lurry going to get some distance back with the YRC. A pretty good change for Faust now that I'm looking at it on the screen, but DainsLeif still takes it to the corner, still keeping his pressure up.
See the YRC block on there. One of the changes that is, like, you get pushed away a little bit further this time around in here, so wasn't really able to get a whole lot from it afterwards on that. Does put the punish in here from DainsLeif after the bad moon here. We're going to tie it up 1-for-1.
That chatter was right. Lurry's playing for his life here. What's going on, Gentle Sin? What's going on, everybody here in the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat watching ParagOnline? Guilty Gear Strive. Number 48, I think it is, Khalil. They've been running this one for a minute. You guys missed the ladder portion, but you got to check it out next week. You get to play as many matches as you want. And if you have records as good as these players, you make it to the top 8, double elimination bracket. You're watching Losers Quarterfinals.
That is exactly right in here. And if you missed it already, don't worry about it. You can go on the YouTube. You can see the cut and edited one in the future. Hope you're doing well out there if you're watching at that point.
DainsLeif feeling pretty good about getting this far. But Lurry able to fight it out in that corner, using that wiggle mix, but DainsLeif not falling for it too much here, and this time gets the punish of it on block. Lurry gonna have to block out this Millia. Wow, that close slash stagger was getting a lot of mileage, but we're fighting out of the corner.
Yeah, almost got a fourth one out of it, but Lurry does get the mark on there. Already running up, trying to get far away from the bomb, and gets the throw grab on it. Gets that, follow up with Artemis, and up top, and going to get the confirm also.
That 6K PRC mix only works against some of the best players, the players you're going to trust to actually react to that one. So a little bit of a compliment mix situation there for DainsLeif, earning that round, finishing off flashy with the bad move.
Lurry trying to snipe early on with the 5K, doesn't get anything for it, but does get the grab on there afterwards here. The backdash, the avoid from DainsLeif just to get away from the orange wild assault here. Going down, but we're going to get hit by bad moon after.
Stagger 5K is simple enough, right? Able to still Gatling into that 2D. You get the win con after, so DainsLeif fishing with these fast K normals to catch Lurry. Whacking. You do use that burst to keep DainsLeif in the corner, but we're going to get that burst back. Good stuff using that Scarecrow reset, though. We're getting a lot of hash out damage.
Doesn't get the follow-up on there, but enough time to block on there. Senses out the change on the throw, but fortunately it's going to be DainsLeif taking over and taking the lead 2-1.
Oh, I think I missed it, Risky. Was it a double jump or was it a super jump? Either way, Lurry, unfortunately, too high to get that JD connection. Spaghetti out of the pockets. It's on the floor. DainsLeif getting that third game.
Yeah, neither is a place where spaghetti belongs. You need to have it on the plate, ready for consumption.
There you go. Or in that one Tupperware. Everyone got that one
yeah.
red sauce Tupperware.
Yeah, the one that the red stains are never coming out in, so you just use it for spaghetti. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
So, here we go. DainsLeif. Don't need that S disc. Trying to get some straight hits here with those bar normals. The bar slash dash 5K has some good distance, but Lurry gets that counter hit in the wild salt, confirms it into this OP situation. This is the Faust win taunt, getting a couple of those afros, bringing to the corner, getting that meter, but DainsLeif blocking it out, forces these command grabs to get represented. Yeah,
got with the command grab on there afterwards here. Finally get the air throw on there, taking over the corner, get the follow-up with the RC Artemis here. Okay, we're going to just go into the tandem top setup, go like with a little bit of a cross up here, holding it down, but here comes the tornado, forcing the burst out from DainsLeif.
We're getting scrambly out here. The setups are getting quick, and they're getting pretty gappy. So Lurry was ready to check with that 5-framer, saying you can't get too comfortable on these block strings. Able to get that round, but it was a close one. Risky could have went either way.
Close, but no cigar at that point here. So we're getting into the follow-up here. Just avoids the mini Faust altogether. Going to take that corner for DainsLeif. The deflect shield, but not going to be bounced away for so long. Millia is just a boomerang.
And Millia on top here like a magnet. He's going to break that wall with Artemis. Good routing there from DainsLeif. Lurry getting caught with the far slash there on the round start. The RPS losing to that normal. But we're still up in a round count. So even though we're going down here to DainsLeif mix, we're still fighting to get this game on the board. But DainsLeif all of a sudden on that set point on this Millia.
Keep it back on there, goes ahead, gets out the parade. Find that moment with there, but nice little retaliation in there, right into the 6H, into the wild assault immediately from Lurry in here, trying to begin their game yet again. A little bit of mix up with the mini Faust. Mini Faust is becoming so much into play here.
Mini Faust really got some love. This mini Faust, I don't know, man. Maybe there was some secret buffs to how well this mini Faust cooperates with us, because he's been doing some work tonight.
Yeah, mini Faust has been eating that whey protein for sure on that, but get caught with the anti-air 2K, and it's going to get the conversion into overdrive here. That enough? Yes, it is.
That was crazy routing there from Lurry. Using that early super to give, of course, because DainsLeif had the burst, right? DainsLeif, if they had the choice, wasn't going to lose that round, but the overdrive locks you out. So Lurry going for one that I don't think any of us expected except him, getting to that game 5 spot.
Yeah, fortune smiles upon thee, for thou hast found the victory condition on there. It's 2-2 now. Loser side, one of these players is going to have to watch the rest of the bracket on the stream after this. The other one gets to continue their losers run on here. Who is it going to be between Lurry and DainsLeif?
I mean, if I was looking at just the attendees guessing, I would say Lurry was going to get pretty far in this bracket. But I don't know, the way that DainsLeif's been playing, how strong we've been on this Millia. Good end for either player here. Definitely loving what we're seeing, the changes we're making in the latter half of this game. Using that far slash to get it confirmed, but the Iron Savior had us grounded. The 100-ton weight buys Lurry some time, and we're trying to box out here, man.
Yeah, we are in the ring, ready. Just scuffle it out here. The follow-up, try to connect on the 2K. No dice for DainsLeif. Enough time for Lurry to go in here with the RC, set up a little bit mixed with the bomb. You're going to keep that plus in there with the push away.
Mini Faust, here we go. We've been hyping him up. We'll see what he has for us here. DainsLeif gonna burst the stay here. Mini Faust still with the threat.
Long distance Iron Savior coming out from Millia in there. Enough time to get the knockdown on there afterwards. Set up there, caught. Lurry ducking in the corner. Another tandem top for the trouble.
I like that rounding. It actually got us on top of Lurry despite the deflect shield. Using that red RC to keep it going. But the turn was over after that 6H. No real safe special cancels. DainsLeif's getting Lurry a lot of respect. But the next hit still goes to Millia. Still set point for DainsLeif.
Of the mix already getting knocked down on that. Mini Faust is out to play here, but you're going to not even see that here if the combo hits right out with the Capel Ether. There we go. Last opportunity potentially.
We're going to go on top of you with that wild assault. DainsLeif was a good fuzzy jump, did not want to get snipped here in the final 100 meters. The 5K actually getting ducked and then jumped over. A weird one right there for Lurry with some retracting hurt boxes. Meteor for our troubles. We get the cross up as well. Risky. We got this Millia here in the corner.
Bit of a baseball bat into the super. Going to get the round at that point for both players. This is what I want to see, Jeek. This is what I want to see.
Yeah, we're really even up here in this final part of the bracket. Definitely making it go down to the wire with how strong we're playing. Both players won it. Couldn't ask for anything better as a competitor. DainsLeif with a really strong Millia combo to get things started in this round.
Anti-air 2Ks coming out from Lurry. Enough time to the mix, and you might get me hitting in by the winger. Yes, you are. What? But the trade, the hammer comes knocking out. The Home Depot stops the combo. Stops the super.
I could hear it, Risky. The theme was playing. Look at that burst safe route with JP.
Holding out. We're backdashing. Jumping Dust in there. Gets the follow-up and not too far away to get the continuation of the combo for DainsLeif.
That makes him safe with the red RC, but yes, the Scarecrow takes too long to connect, and DainsLeif was able to build the burst.
Okay, great backdash in there. Using a little bit of the assault in there, but the anti-air, the rise up, rise from your grave, Lurry. You took the set 3-2.
Oh my lord, that was a good time watching that Lucy, how she's developed even this early on. You're going to see how it's going to do against one of the best players in the world, one of the best Anjis, MacMens.
Gets the throw early on against MacMens, Fujin in there, but we do get the knockout. We're back into neutral here.
Great hits on both sides. Both players representing that far slash.
Keep it plus here, backing away, doesn't want to deal with Fujin on here. I like that, like, dealing with the whip from Lucy, especially if you haven't played a whole lot of matches with this character in here, especially with the way it's kind of back to you back up, like you feel like you're really in the mix, especially early on.
Yeah, I mean, they really did a good job of making only 3 special cancels be unique on this character. Something as simple as just varying the timing, the charge, canceling it. You get crafty with it like Chocolate is right now. You can earn a lot of free turns. MacMens giving it a lot of respect, rightfully so, blocking it out, but said, nope, it's my time to fight. Chocolate in the gap, however, DP's out. MacMens has to earn the turn again.
Chocolate was getting a lot of that risk meter put on the side of MacMens here, but we're getting anti-air. Doesn't get the follow-up, unfortunately, here. Chocolate going ahead, using the DP, get out of the situation. But you know what? We're going to run up, we're going to tap with the fan, make sure those knees are ticking. Turns out you probably need braces.
Yeah, MacMens saying, hey, you know, I'm going to tap you here, react, tell me if it hurts with that 2P. But Chocolate showing you a lot of speed with the Lucy, right? Getting called out on those run-up throws, but they're being represented for good reason. This is a fast character. MacMens, however, the one throwing you with this strike throw. Good blocks there on the 5Ds. The Brain Melter came out. Chocolate was still ready for it.
Goes ahead and get the throw on out of there. For what felt like Chocolate trying to get a lot of going on in that first round, MacMens took over like a monster truck there.
MacMens said, hey, we're not sharing the road out here.
I got a Ford F-150, 250, 350, Super Duty. I got all of it here. Vroom, vroom, beep, beep.
So you see my lift kit? You got to pull over, homie. Gonna get that first game. We'll see. Chocolate, you know what? Mad respects to Chocolate. Even when we were down earlier in the tournament, still stuck to this Lucy, you know? So definitely committing to it out here. I personally know Chocolate for the Kai, but says, hey, look, I gave this character some love, been having fun, and I'm gonna see how she does against the best in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeek. And I love seeing that we're going to see like a little bit of representation, a little bit of example of how this matchup goes between these two characters, especially against one of the best known examples of the character with MacMens.
Now right here, but still looking for our turns when it's time. Giving that spin safe. Chocolate going for these run-up throws. and they can be tricky. That speed can be overwhelming, but not for MacMens and able to punish them out. But you got to give some respect to Chankla, showing that DP whenever the gap makes it appropriate.
Going down, got the nervous in on them. Going to get a little bit of hit, but don't go pull up. That's really what you do here. You want to give opportunity for MacMen to get the hit into the Dollywood. There's the butterfly coming out to play. They're overhead. The defense shield actually didn't go nearly as far as I thought it was going to.
Yeah, it's getting so scrambly over here. Definitely some unexpected situations from both those players. But hey, it pays off for MacMens in the end. Had to spend a little bit of that burst meter on that deflect shield, but we got the round.
Holds it down. Like goes in for the low option on there. I believe that is like, yeah, that's my fault. So it's punishable on that. MacMens gets the opportunity, takes over the corner, the left corner for themselves. The YRC to get out of there, trying to go in for the throw immediately afterwards. The PRC to catch them out of the air and get back into the center.
MacMens can be tricky with how we spend that meter, but look at this, dog. Gotta give MacMens some credit. Character not been out a week. So Chankla able to pilot it, of course, is very impressive, but MacMens took it a step further. Look at those just blocks that were coming out on defense. We're ready for Lucy's no matter what.
Yeah, but the call out from Chankla with that DP in there. Goes into the sprint attack. Oh, crossover 2 times, 3 times after the RC.
Pulling up from downtown, but those overheads do not connect against Chankla.
Been a lot of really good blocking, but not enough to get the on the ground afterwards here. Try to go for the DP one more time, and MacMens, all they have to do is punish it. 2 up.
I mean, Chankla being very fast about these options between using that DP, both on the wake up, both on the gaps, trying to use some of those quick normals, that far slash, get those red RC confirms after. You know, we're being quick about what we're doing, those run-up throws, but MacMens just, I don't know, has his eyes open, man. He's looking at the screen. He's seeing what Chankla wants to do, even if we are varying it up, changing it up, and we're adapting and we're fighting back. There's the Kai. It's going to be coming out here risky. I wasn't lying to y'all. I knew that Chankla had the Kai, and y'all are going to be seeing it here. I'm getting I'm getting validated out here risky.
Yeah, Night City is over. It's time for the first king to come out into play here. Trying to go one early on with this far slash into the stun edge, trying to keep away MacMens.
Lucy did say that Kai would do very well in Night City, or better than most, is how she worded it. So maybe Chankla has something out here to show us.
Like, gotta see what dialogue choices that Kai makes in Night City to really determine on that. But the MacMens is just going to go ahead, get into the corner here, hold down the fort, and here comes the gap into the super. Ride the lightning.
Not enough to get that wall break after. MacMens has that meter to play with, and I don't blame MacMens for bursting there. Had the 100 tension to keep fighting out the round. Didn't want to give Chankla a chance with any positive bonus scenarios. So we're keeping it simple. The 5H gets the pickup. MacMens trying to use this meter, and it's going to use it to confirm that deflect shield, line up that close slash punish, and put himself on set point.
The timing on that too with the PRC, just to make sure the deflect shield wouldn't affect as much on there, just to maintain their momentum. Very good.
Simple overheads getting us these knockdowns, but no cancel Fujins also this late in the set. Pretty high value stuff there from MacMens, earning that turn with that special move just to thread it alone.
Hold down, second 2H does make its mark in here into the charge stun edge. Gonna make sure to apply the static electricity on top of MacMens here. Gonna get the positive bonus as we go onto the other side, transition to stages.
MacMens has that tension to play with and gets that counter hit 2P. Chankla tried to get the run up after that stun dipper. Has the tension to fight back with, but the 2H, that was actually one of those Anji changes. MacMens just used it there for the Oki. Has tension to try to confirm one more hit into a kill if possible, just in time. Guilty, ear reloaded, GER with the raid. Thank you very much, homies. You guys are watching Losers Quarters. MacMens is trying to close it out, the move on 3-0.
One more touch is all they need. Goes into a direct plate, try to put the static stock shock on them again. But you know what? We're going to reach out and just tap with the toe on there. It's going to be whether or not that they can even have the opportunity to do that against Patrick Chaos. Something we do.
Yeah, well, we didn't get here for free. We had to get here through a crazy game 5 up there against Lurry, so Zag definitely earning their spot so far. Can they take some rounds, some games, some sets here off of the titan of this online team, Jack, getting that Deus Ex Machina, getting that positive bonus process looping, and gets you on the second overhead hit, sending Zag through the wall. Probably enough to take this first round here.
And it is with a perfect on top. A little bit early, already jumping away, gets the punish and forcing the burst out from Zag.
Hail Mary gunshots right there, risky, but Zag was staying on top there for a moment. Jack, however, with that 4P, that 6P from behind, is going to get some damage laid out here. The wall breaks come out. Despite that slump, we had time to get the super.
Yeah, just has like enough time to get the reload on top of that and like continue up the presence here. Familiar territory that we're seeing here, but like some nice blocking in there. Unika going to take over the side of it, but until the 2K 2D knockdown from Jack, just going to get the punish into the Deus Ex Machina. That's going to be one on the board for Jack.
I mean, it looked like a textbook burst bait right there, but Jack actually kind of had you in the unblockable, the checkmate. It was all about varying up that timing on the run-up, using those gunshots to get that burst bait. But it was going to be on that jump cancel that ended up taking it. Jack, very strong stuff to seal out that first game. Definitely, if you're going to be taking out Paragon's Jack, it's not going to be easy. No matter who you are or what character you're playing, Jack's going to have to show us their very best here.
Early on, getting that far slash into gun, throwing out the play here, and we're getting a stomp on playing a little bit of Mario Brothers.
Definitely hitting it. I mean, it's not called Goomba Stomp for nothing.
The RC hold it down here. Just get a little bit of that guard crush on there, but Jack not deterred in the slightest in there. Going to get the throw, switches over to the other side, gets that confirmed, and it pops up another round on the board. Fill that out on the Scantron.
I mean, that empty hop back throw, that one's unblockable, risky. If I see that one in my ranked match, I'm getting thrown every time. I'm going to tell you what. So Jack went out and pulling that one out against you.
The Daughter Dipper here, enough time for the on the ground damage. Kind of keep it down, keep it oppressive. First time that Zag really had an opportunity, actually was able to avoid it, like the hitbox of it from the air dash from Jack. Here, just seeking out the situation.
Yeah, that's the RPS. If Zag went for the overhead there, Jack would have still blocked it in the air, but because we went for the low, was actually able to negate it. So you gotta pay attention to how Unika's layering that pressure, y'all, and maybe you can jump out in times you didn't expect, like Jack is doing right here. My man has labbed out the game. If it's not a surprise to you, he knows the counterplay to every character, and it's paying off. We're trying to take it out against Zag here with this last bit of RC.
I can't fast cancel out of there. Enough time to get the push away on here, but this is a happy moment, and we got the Goomba Stomp yet again. Stompy Stomp, 2 up.
Definitely liked how much slower that round was in terms of Zag's potential here to get some games. Everything got slowed down a bit. We were able to fight there against Jack. We were running that corner pressure, but Jack was showing you that I'm ready for that counterplay. I'm ready for this RPS from the movement to get out of the situation. Zag does have other options in how to layer this Unika. They're going to have to come out and start going crazy from this game on.
They're going to have to go crazy indeed here, but not if they're going to have to deal with the rolls and the mix-up from Jack here. Cancel out, trying to wait out for some of the buttons. Happy to hold back, has a significant life lead, so doesn't really have to go too far in here. Does get knocked down on the follow-up options on the Daughter Dipper into the RC. Going to try to keep it real, keep it close.
Jack does get counter hit here, maybe a little too early on that counterplay to get out. The overhead connects. Good stuff with that tech throw. I didn't even realize that 5H was already active, so Jack getting clipped by it, put back in this corner, but still getting those punishes. Zag not making it easy though, was ready with the burst.
Hold up, he'll make sure to get the enhanced properties on it. Does get the clip on the overhead in there, and the follow-up like low, blam, 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 finally getting around on their side for Zag.
Man, Zag made it look like Jack couldn't play the damn game there for a second, Risky. We were looking crazy with those 2S normals, with the follow-ups. Jack, definitely not feeling too happy about that one, saying, hold on, homie, you can't just run your pressure on me for free. You're going to have to earn it, and I'm going to get you sent to this wall and start off this one.
Across the bridge, we're going to have to pay the toll on here, and this time Zag is ready to pay that cost here. Does do the RC in the follow-up. Going ahead, spins the wild assault in there just to make sure they can get all the way to the other side and break that wall, get a little bit of positive bonus, try to regain some of that meter back, but you still have to deal with the BRC, the slowdown time from Jack into the DSX Machina.
Those BRC slowdowns are so unassumingly strong. Probably expected that the wall break, but we got to reset. It's going to pay off for us here. Risky, because we also bait the burst. Zag went for the Hail Mary. Jack evening up the rounds, going on the set point.
Jack checked out the crystal ball, and everything was true inside of it here. That point, as we get the trade on here, already forced away, getting the stink ball on the Zag, making it that much harder to approach.
Good job blocking out these normals while still doing that jump forward. Sees the DP animation in the slowdown. Jack's got a lot of hours in these games, man. You know, so if there's a BRC slowdown for any character in the game, he knows what move it is. He's ready to bait those DPs.
Goes into the 2S option. Not like got a little bit of a nerf in the patch, but you wouldn't see that from the way Jack.
Down here in losers semis finals, who's gonna make it forward to fight against that Unika?
So already Faust versus Anji coming up the deck. More Fujins, more items in play here. Both these players have been fighting for their lives this entire top A here. As we see the mini Faust and the bomb come out to play for Faust.
It's getting that first hit, but Lurry was ready with that 100-ton weight. That was the RNGesus for that one.
Okay. Going to go ahead and get the, I'll go into the super, get that wall bust out there, get the positive bonus, pulling it down, checking out with that close slash on there.
It's either going with that PRC on the Fujin, but the PRC pressure from MacMens in general gives us those opportunities to bait reversals. Lurry went for that YRC in the string. In hindsight, perhaps MacMens was actually looking for it and it pays off. Lurry trying to get out of this corner. MacMens got a good start in this round.
So I was taking a look at the ladder really quick here. I mean, we saw Jack and MacMens, earlier, but we saw like with Lurry and MacMens, they fought each other in the bracket. It was I think I lost it there, but I think it was 3-1. It was in Lurry's favor.
There we go. MacMens going to try to get this run back. And this is where it matters. Hey, if there was a match to win or lose, it's going to be in the path of your loser side bracket, right? This is the part where you want to lock in if you weren't before. MacMens is going to start us off getting that first game.
Yeah, correction on that. It was 3-2 Lurry on that, but yeah, that is all true, Jeek, on that. One up for MacMens, trying to make that run happen where it counts the most here as we try to get into that top 3, that money.
You can keep adding to that money. Big shout outs to everyone who's been moving that ticker alone for the money. We're up to almost $20. You guys can claim more of those codes. The next code that claims us put us in that $20 mark. Your players would appreciate that one. Lurry running it down after that thrust follow-up. Able to get this throw-in. Able to get another throw-in. Trying to send a message here to MacMens.
Yeah, does get the follow-up on there. Fades out the first. Big damage in here. Just goes in. Got an item that they wanted, but, you know, goes in for the overdrive on there afterwards here. And with the guts, not enough.
5D gets blocked. MacMens not falling for that one. Tried to go for the deep mix. Probably expected that one to be the cross-up corner steal. But MacMens was able to block it out. Lurry just needed that 5D to close out the round. Catching your backdash, you got to be careful backdashing against Lurry, ready to call you out those 2 H's with the wild assault follow-up, but MacMens fighting out of that corner.
Alright, check in on there, goes in for the overhead, caught Lurry ducking on there. Does get in with the 2S on there afterwards. Into the super we go. It's going to be another significant chunk of damage gone away here.
Oh, I like that. That 2K was all MacMens committed to, so the BRC backdash from Lurry actually kept us alive here. The Trumpet tries to keep the pressure going, but we get some time to breathe with that mix. MacMens does get their turn back, and he's trying to get a straight hit here with that Fusion from downtown, but Lurry's the one running the pressure.
Double overhead. Second one, the jumping slash does make its mark in here. Does get the confirm into the super for Lurry. Trying to fight on through this here. Check down the wheelchair. Make some damage happen. Call the doctor. Oh wait, he is the doctor.
MacMens trying to get a stray hit here, but that mini Faust actually saved us, by the way. That was an awesome interaction. Even though the YRC got baited, Lurry was able to stay in the round, but MacMens only needed a little bit of HP to chew through. Man, this Paragon has been having some very interesting interactions in all kinds of matchups. Even this one, this Faust Anji.
Yeah, with the new patch comes interesting times, and sure enough, we've been seeing that all the way throughout here. Get the follow-up on the Wild Assault on the 5K in there. Times out the burst to make sure that MacMens has the corner in there. Trying to call it out. The switch over, the 5K teleport in there from Lurry. Going to get that confirmed into his bucket down the wall yet again.
Wow, and then Lurry doing a good job of doing that zoning back, right? That very active Faust 5K right there. It's got a unique angle, able to keep MacMens away from doing those free spins. And that's the mix right there too, flicking that FD in the air. What's Lurry going to fall down with? I don't know, but MacMen trying to block it out.
Keeps it safe on Fujin on the low option on there afterwards here. Going to get a couple of hits here. MacMens does have a little bit of bar to work with here. Just goes in for the fish afterwards to get the knockdown.
That tension for mix or for a hit confirm, and it's going to be that counter. MacMens swimming Lurry here in the corner. Goes for the gut crush just to ensure we get the kill. MacMens up 2-0 right now, but that last round could be indicative of some strong play in the future here from this Faust.
We've seen it time and time again, like with these two going the distance here. It's 2-0, but anything is possible. We could see that change at a moment's notice for sure. Lurry keeping on the Faust, of course, going right back into the game.
Lurry does have some other picks. I've seen him on the chip before. I've seen him on the Leo in very specific matchups, notably Ram. But no, we're sticking here on this Faust. That's probably what you know him for, the tried and true, the Faust player of all time. Weird thrust angle right there. MacMen spent that burst, and I want to take the follow-up damage.
We got the far away hit on that. Using the golf club to get like swing away at the hammer away, but we're getting those big counter hits where they count from Lurry. Into the setup, into the reset. Have a little hair job.
Gotta hold that JV after. Lurry very often picks those re-grabs with the Afro. And a good time to do that re-grab. Your opponent's thinking about the flaming Afro in their head that makes the overheads connect better. I can't DP, I can't 6P. Oh, I just got thrown. Lurry very good at layering that pressure.
Yeah, definitely trying to like make your opponents think about different options, like keep the selection to your benefit on there. Hold it back too far away for the golf club to connect on here. You got to try again. That's a golf penalty for sure. The 2 get the 2K back into it with the bomb. Actually gets knocked away from MacMens here. He's going to have to force Lurry to block it.
And that means MacMens gets a chance to run this pressure. Gets that 5-8 rather stagger to catch Lurry and send this through the wall here. Lurry has that burst, but through the guts crush, that's actually going to be enough to kill. MacMens on set point. Lurry didn't have a chance the moment we got wall splat.
Yeah, like definitely be going in for those extra damage just to ensure that the life bar is fully drained of Lurry. Get the block on there into the Fujin yet again.
2H coming out from MacMens, trying to use that basically new button in our arsenal. The banana gets spun through. Mini Faust doesn't connect. And then getting bursted back in the corner on our own pressure with that mix. MacMens looking good here.
The tap dust coming into play. That's going to be a full combo in here. So one more interaction to go. Doesn't have enough meter to make the super happen, but we're going along the other side. Trying to find it. Actually trying to reach out, but was too far away. Lurry going to take over, throw out the trumpet. You sent out the parade, but it was too late. The victory march is going for MacMens.
Yeah, I don't blame Lurry for looking for those gaps there, trying to see if MacMens was willing to spend that tension on a reversal or a system mechanic. But they got hotels and stuff as well. But here we're talking about these players. We're talking about top 3 of ParagOnline number 48. We're talking about MacMens earning that run back set against Lurry to make it here to losers finals. But it's going to be against Zag. Getting very far in the brackets, playing it out against Jack, taking down Lurry as well. We're going to try to get that run back, baits the burst, keeps MacMens in the corner, and you're going to be sent through with all this pressure from this Unika.
And yeah, gets the guard crush on there afterward here. Like holding down, but does get hit with the overhead from MacMens. Another tap dust. Going to begin the combo and the damage yet and again.
Taylor's cursed there for a second, risky. MacMens fighting back out, taking us to the other side, but still either player's game, depending on who gets this counter hit.
Let's get the wall bounce, but nothing for it. DP comes out to tie things up, nearly at the same life level here, trying to keep cautious, keep it back on. And I like that backdash away from the pin from Anji. Nice DP!
An anti-air moment right there. And it's going to be just a quick jump normal from Zag. And then linking it into the 2K there to get the last little bit of damage. Awesome pickup right there from Zag.
Definitely love that conversion all throughout here. Oh, the rare MacMens was just a little bit too far away. Didn't get the Zag found the opportunity to get the final big counter. And yet again another one really stopping MacMens in the track.
We got cool combos here on the side of MacMens, but Zag said no cool combos here. Spent that burst, but the way that fan works, he still had to block it after, and MacMens gets the run up, counter hit, a pair of them with the super to boot. Looks like Anji's going to get around here on the board.
Yeah, first one didn't make it through. You had the block at the very end of it. You know what? I want to make sure you see it. I want you to see it through the other side here.
The lay low, sometimes that's all you need. Zag trying to do that hold up. MacMens going to call it out with that Nagiha. Builds up the tension and gets that wall break.
Doesn't cancel it out here. Just going to give opportunity to get back into neutral. Tries to do the side switch in there from Zag.
Here's the throw. Zag was ready with that burst, and I love that. Using that forward special movement to get some distance cross, but PR seeing another move in. Zag getting a lot of damage here against MacMens, routing into a lot of damage, but we had burst, we had tension. MacMens needs to get out of this corner.
Great blocking on display here. Finding a way to find his way in there, but we got the anti-air from MacMens. Going to force the burst out here, back into neutral. Canceling out the PRC. You know what? We're going to do it again, and we're going to make sure it ends the round this time around. MacMens is up 1.
I feel like MacMens tried to show us that combo 2 other times in that round, in that game. But unfortunately, just whether it was the angle or what, they were dropping, it seemed like. So I do love that. That's an awesome thing when you're watching a set with players that are willing to make those adaptations, where you still do the combo later on in the set, except now it works. Now you made that change. Now you got that, you did the hit confirm sooner or whatever. Especially when it gets you the game win like that. Strong stuff there, MacMens.
Absolutely on there. We're already seeing it kind of yet again here as we go into our second match. Want to point out really quickly in the latter portion of this, Zag only lost to 2 players in the latter portion. One was Jack, the other one was MacMens. So this is kind of a run back from that same situation as well.
Well, that would be awesome then. And if you think about it, Zag would love to take out both of their bracket BBs here in ParagOnline. MacMens ain't going to make it easy. They got you near the wall. The super spent. We do have tension on the other side, but you're going to have to hold this safe jump here from MacMens or rather that meaty close slash to take out this round.
Just like endless, like it felt like you were just on the escalator all the way through, only going one way. Damage City for MacMens.
That overhead is from downtown. Zag really good at using that option.
Holding out, nice tech in there, but still going to get a chance to kind of get things through. But getting the parry on there from MacMens, holding it down with a butterfly. We're trying to get back in here.
These anti-airs have been going crazy. I don't blame MacMens for still representing them. Zag. Gonna be sent to the wall here again, but this time we did get our burst back. We have a lot of resources to fight back in this round with.
Yeah, gets the counter hit, the 5T on Mark, but unfortunately the burst out from Zag.
A lot of tension here on MacMen's side, and it could be as simple as a co-RC here. No, it's going to be that gut crush super setup again. Actually, we didn't even need that. Risky, all we needed was that one confirm to get that game 2. MacMen's keeping it simple.
Yep, keep it as simple. You got to keep it tight, especially when you have when you're in the gauntlet at this point. You had to fight in the last match. You're having to fight through here, and if you're trying to get back into grand finals, you're going to have to fight through potentially 2 other sets at that point as well.
MacMen's, you know, when we played against Jack earlier, we were able to get one of those games. If you can get a game, you can get a set. So MacMen's probably feeling strong about getting that run back if we get the chance. Of course, Zag, you were saying earlier, Risky, once they get that chance to fight against Jack again. We went down the ladder. We went down in the top 8 side. We want another chance. We want to fight against that Jack, but this Anji ain't going to make it easy.
We got the cancel out of there, trying to make a long distance on the Fujin low option here. But we're holding back, playing with the Quake 3 railgun yet again.
That's on each side. I like that no cancel on the Nagia right there. MacMen's not necessarily forcing the turn right away. In fact, just building up that tension, looking for a chance to get a anti-air confirm possibly. But Zag said, you gave me too much time. I built up the tension. You got to hold this mega death buster. Getting around here on the board in game 3.
Zag not going down without a fight or on that. But here comes the anti-air coming yet again. Familiar territory as we go back in. Does get to confirm to break the wall. That was a life bar at one point. It's mostly gone. It's still going down. It's draining. It's almost all the way down to 0. Might be living after this one more time, but you're very desperate now.
MacMen's trying to move on. Got a little too tricky with that BRC. Zag was ready with possibly a delayed tech that ended up turning to a back throw instead. MacMen's building up this tension, but another throw out here.
Oh, was close enough that the parry would count on their set point for MacMens.
First for each side, however. Zag definitely has been able to slow things down a bit. MacMen didn't want that counter hit to turn to too much more. Zag's slowing down a lot, right? All this JD representation, staggering into the daughter dippers, trying to see if MacMen wants to press to get out of this corner.
That's too far away, doesn't get anything for it. Like everyone like whipping at that point here, but we got the touch in here, using the enhanced version with the guard crush in here, holding down the corner. Zag is keeping up the fight.
This co-confirm, MacMens is going to get that safe jump on the downtown. The YRC gives us a chance to breathe, but Zag with no more tension is going to have to get a really good hit to turn this one into a kill. We do get the wall break, but the JP starter means we don't get to finish off this round.
So having to hold it down in there, like after a second hit on there, push away with the YRC. Try to keep it simple with the firing off the gun in here. No tech, like no throw for you here. Going to give MacMens a chance to turn things around. Keep it on. I don't care about your butterfly. The DP gets baited out here, but we got the touch one more time with the butterfly. Confirm in there. MacMens moving on into grand finals.
And that got scary there, Risky. If we had over-baited another option there from Zag, MacMens didn't have a lot of HP to play around with, but of course the tension is what went crazy. So able to crack it. We're going to see Jack versus MacMens here in grand finals.
Yeah, I want to give one more quick shout out to Zag, getting in that top 3, getting in the money for this week. Really good play on that. I've been telling myself I need to play a little bit more Unika, and Zag is giving me that answer for sure. But now as we go into grand finals, you're already a dance fucking up. Half of that life bar gone as I was speaking right there against MacMens. Jack is ready to play.
Ready to show you the old tried and trues, right? The 5 beam to the gunshot, the wall funk is enough time to get the curse applied and the Deus Ex after. So you got the curse, the hard knockdown, the positive bonus for Jack, and then you got to hold the 5-way. And it's hard for anyone, even MacMen's one of the best players out there on that Anji. Jack's going to make you look easy out here in grand finals.
Yeah, Jack didn't even look like he needed a warm-up, was just like ready to go at any time and still making it happen there. This time blocking on the tap dust, finding the opportunity after the roll for MacMens to get the throw on there, finding the vulnerability there. And we're having to hold down on butterfly setup now.
Good Jack looking for those punishes, still being active on that defense with that 2K, but it pays off for MacMens who sees that co-red RC. Jack wants to stay in this round and keep that pressure going, so he spends the burst. Got the same side roll there, which was a weird one. The taco kick gets blocked. MacMens, you gotta give him some credit. Amazing defense here against his mix master.
We're running up that hill, also coming in with another $9.99 direct contribution on there. Thank you so very much. Making that $30 for the top 3 payout on here as Jack takes that first match here. We still have 8 codes remaining in the match arena, so if you've been enjoying this bracket and everything else in between on that and want to pay out the players, make sure to claim those codes. I want to see all those. I want to see that number hit 0 by the end of this set, if at all possible.
Yeah, guys, it's free to do. I mean, we learned today you could get on your BattleNet. No way you guys don't got a BattleNet, right? If you're in the Twitch chat, if you're in the YouTube chat, no excuse. You got an account. Go ahead, click on those free coin codes. I really appreciate y'all doing that. Already got us up to $30 from between those and your direct contributions, so thank y'all very much. Jack's got this first game of Grand Finals. MacMens will have to win 2 sets here to reset that bracket and take it over Jack if we want to get that first place spot. We're going to see if this Happy Chaos can keep down Anji and ParagOnline number 48.
Early on in there, MacMens bursting out, get in it, but we got a nice little hit in there, burst right back at you.
Good Jack, getting that curse apply risky. Deus Ex is already as well.
Going for setup, just going to keep up it close and personal here. MacMens still got the sting on them, so it's going to get the problems that go alongside of it. Another wall bursting through here, hilarious 1920s vaudeville comedy style.
Jack, even though we had no focus there with 100 tension and that huge life lead, it's Jack's game to lose, but MacMens making it look more possible than you may have realized. Just a couple stray hits risky, and all of a sudden, oh my lord.
You know what? I was guessing on the other side. I was like, oh, that surely won't kill. But no, it did indeed kill in there. What MacMens turned around, what looked to be a very much in the favor of Jack round, turned it in there on their side.
Yeah, man, I need to give my a.b.a. GOAT some more respect. Sorry about that one, MacMens. Keeping you pinned down in the corner, trying to take some games here off of this Happy Chaos, off of this Jack from Celestial.
Nice throws on the GP in the corner. The pressure is up. On top of that, going to use that concentration on there just to get a little bit of that meter back on there. Put the kick on there after.
Gunshots come out. Hard knockdown is going to be on this Anji, but MacMens does have a lot of defensive mechanics here if we want to get risky and use them. But Jack, man, used that drift up BRC earlier in a previous set. Pulled it out here again to even up the rounds against MacMens.
Yeah, keeping the gun pointed out. Just a reminder, it's like I can finish this anytime I want to.
That 2-piece stagger, MacMens is trying to get a straight hit here, but Jack's the one running the pressure and the mix comes out.
Getting the block on there, trying to get the approach on there, but using the BRC just to slow down time and take it back there. Turn on top of things here. Gets a little time for the reload here, holding it down. Happy to use the faultless defense just to kind of push away, just to get back into neutral.
Kind of smart there from MacMens, right? Especially because Jack's low on ammo. You're going to have to earn those reloads. You're not going to get them for free in the block strings. But getting that straight hit gun flip, Jack had the tendency to back up this super. MacMens again, I feel like we're getting knocked down through that wall quite a bit, but at least on the other side, we have the resources to spend.
Actually pushed away, yep. Bathed out the burst in their last chance opportunity. Jack is going to be up 2 into potential tournament set for tonight.
I mean, Jack's got the Paragon tag in the name. My man's got he's got the home field advantage. Can we talk about that one, Risky?
Oh, we can. Yeah, like being being sponsored by it, showcasing on that, you know, coming up into like their home turf, like well, you know, like they're owning the place right now, and like, you know, they're showcasing that right now. But But MacMen's not out of it yet here. It's 2-0. MacMen's got to do the reset now or never. They want to continue in this round.
You're winning this Paragon, and you got to start hitting those buttons now. Jack feeling pretty good about how much of a lead we've got so far. MacMen's keeping this turn, keeping HC in the corner, and I respect that from Jack, playing kind of slow here. Even though we got that lead, we're not doing anything too risky.
He's got the curse on temporarily on there, but does have access to the corner. He's holding down, finds that mark in there. MacMens finds the opportunity to get the punish on the counter, this time getting the full punish.
There's those anti-airs. MacMen's representing those in earlier sets, using that new 2H as well to get those plus frames after. But Jack's going to be the one fighting out of the corner, trying to keep it going with that behind the back, but MacMen's capitalizes on the drop and gets around on the board here.
Down, already applying the deodorant on Anji early on here, but the roll going to get the knockdown, kind of hold it down this time. MacMen's blocking all of it. The second tap dust hit with the mark, and here's Deus Ex Machina on the low end, going to bust down the door, the window, everything in between.
Jack out here saying, hey, let me check your pockets, homie. I'm gonna run you for what you're worth. Here's that super knockdown coming down. MacMen having all those resources, but the way the HP looks right now, even if you wanted to spend that burst, that YRC, if Jack even gave you the chance, it was going to be a hard decision to make. We just got a perfect. We're here on tournament point.
Felt like Jack was just basically like shooting up Anji's size can into the sky, just playing juggling with those bullets on here. Looking like that potentially may happen again. Nearly half that life bar gone from MacMens. Got to really make a change on here, and all the fusions are getting blocked. Everything is just being immaculate from Jack's play.
Jack, despite having no ammo there, went for the early Deus Ex routing because we could afford to with that tension to get that ammo back and to get the game plan set up. MacMens will get a chance to burst here, but no, Jack doesn't even give it to you. In fact, he's going to take it 3-0 to win. Paragon Online, number 48, in swift fashion. Strong stuff there to Jack.
Yeah, shout out to Jack, making that work happen all the way through. That felt like the